Oh, yeah.
It's Thursday.
Heck yeah. Hangout.
It's hangout time.
What is up, everyone?
Woo!
Welcome to the Hangout.
Welcome to Thursday. It's Adam and Ryan, and we're hanging out.
And it's been like, well, I've been doing a stream every day this week.
Adam
almost.
Adam has
ridiculous.
been just content for this last week. But
Not as good as this, so you know.
it's the thing. The thing is, you can tell when Adam is into something when it's just like multiple days in a row. He was like, I was just gonna play this game. I was just gonna play Fallout 4 for 3 days in a row at night anyway, and may as well stream it.
You know what's the hard part though is like I go in my room and I'm like, I'm gonna play Fallout in my room, and then I'm like, no, you
can't.
You can just stream this. Every game that I play,
it's like,
hell yeah, look at this.
May as well.
Oh.
See, we got avocado shirt, we got Extra Life shirt. Adam's got the official Extra Life shirt. Give to Extra Life. They've been sending me emails, getting pumped up for this year. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, we got Talon
What?
in the chat
Talon's in the
tonight.
chat.
Hey, so Talon, he did his defense, his thesis defense.
What?
This last week.
Amazing.
I missed it on Friday because I couldn't make it, but he's gonna send it to us. So
Cool.
we gotta see this. Maybe we have him as a special guest on the show to talk about it.
I would love that.
What was the topic? Let us know.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm
congratulations.
sure it was something cool. From what I know of Talon, it was not something boring.
Hell yeah. Oh, and Mike Azul in the
Mike
chat.
Azul.
We got all the regular players tonight. We have a show that is cram-packed with things.
It's like every time, but also just, well, I feel like this time we're really going to try to focus a lot on our Game Boy project that we were doing. We were building a Game Boy game from scratch using GB Studio. New stuff has come out for it. We have lots to talk about for that. So we're definitely going to do that, and games and AI news, all kinds of fun stuff.
Hell yeah. Hey, so did you see what Origami Live, our
Cheers in
buddy
the chat.
Hell yeah,
Cheers
for
in the
everyone
chat.
jumping in. So what was it was detection of, I love that it was 3D printing. 3D print failure detection using AI and machine learning.
Oh man.
Hells yeah, that is totally a topic we want you on the show to talk about.
That doesn't sound like things we talk about at all. I don't.
Nah.
It feels like outside of our wheelhouse. Sorry.
Talon, I just got to let you know. I know it's been a minute since you've been on the show. Oh, and we got H.E. Higley. Everyone checking in tonight.
Nice,
oh my
nice.
God.
They've been helping out. That's why I see. Look, I'm like covered in paint still. Working on my house.
We are gonna play some Jackbox, so get your devices ready.
Get
soon.
your devices ready. We're gonna do that after the first little bit.
Yeah, we got to do a little bit. But I wanted to say something just because Talon's here. Just before, I know sometimes you have to dip a little early. Every time I get in and every time I play with Tinkercad, I say Origami Live is gonna hate me for this because I'm about to do this.
Nice.
But what you will love, Talon, is my son has gone through his first year of engineering school at County here, and he is a much amazing, better Fusion 360 person than myself. The dude, like the other day, he's like, this was probably about a month or two ago. He was like, I'm gonna just make a pencil or a pen. Yeah, the Siebes program, and he made this amazing thing within an hour. And like, I've been getting him to make things, and he's been using it like crazy, amazing. So. I don't know. At least some people in this area or around my aura here are actually embodied in that kind of thing. So
I love that. Totally that's amazing. It's like building in 3D modeling into just like a freshman, because he's a freshman in high school, right?
Hell yeah,
I love that.
Well, and he's almost done too, so it's like
true.
another week or two.
That's true.
We will keep it under wraps. DL, I know. You're already on the DL. You're on the Hangout. There's not a lot of people watching the Hangout, but we have our top fans in the chat tonight.
VIPs
so
are here. VIPs
hells
are
to
here.
the yeah.
Totally.
So what are we going to talk about tonight?
Well, I know we want to talk about ChatGPT 4.0, which came out just this last week. I've been using it. We've been hearing like that, there was a big ChatGPT OpenAI announcement where they had talked about what this sort of like new basically new version of ChatGPT does and what
I don't know much about it.
You haven't been using it?
I have not used it.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
maybe
we'll
I
have to-
maybe
we're
I
gonna,
did. and I
We're
don't
gonna
know.
yeah, we're gonna use it a little bit tonight when I do a little tutorial of a fun thing that I was doing at work this week. Literally something for the job that I work at, and was using Adobe Illustrator's generative AI tools to do something interesting with ChatGPT in that. For branding purposes, and I feel like I'd do a little, 10 minutes on it. So
Sweet.
We'll do
I love
a
it.
tutorial. Yeah. And
Jackbox. Okay.
Jackbox.
Get your minds ready because we're theming our Jackboxes.
Yeah. We decided that is a fun differentiator so that I don't just draw a guy throwing up every time.
Or somebody flipping off or
Right.
something about your mom. But, the mom jokes are going to make their way
The
in
mom
there.
jokes that make it into every theme, it feels like.
God, we just set it up. That's going to be the one. Okay, so the theme tonight. Now, you can be political, but we're just like trying to limit it to like a word. The theme for Jackbox, we're going to probably do TKO 2 is protest.
Protest.
Think about protest.
So whatever that brings up to you.
Yeah.
Feel like we want to keep it broad and something, that's been in the news.
So we will get that going in just a little bit. Ryan's got his tutorial, Game Boy discussion. I think something, oh yeah, you went to a protest. I was like, this is timely. We're always at the tip of the spear with this stuff.
This is us with our finger on the pulse.
Oh, man. All right. Well, going into it, we have GB Studio 4.
Yeah.
We've been designing on 3. This is a big news. It's not 100% out, but the beta is out and people have been going nuts on it. So we don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
We're building our game on GB Studio 3.2 right now. We're going to go check it out and see what 4 has to offer. Or at least we're going to go and research it, see if there's something out there about it.
Well, I mean, that absolutely directly affects the game that we are building. So we definitely want to look into that and see what cool. I assume they're cool new features as opposed to.
I have some idea as to what it is, but
Okay.
we'll see what that looks like. We got a Game Boy. We're going to definitely jump into the Game Boy. Ryan and I have both been kind of doing behind the scenes. We did really heavy sprints. We do have things to show off in the game. I want to show Ryan some things that he hasn't seen.
Nice.
But we've also been having some discussions outside of this. Like, I don't know what Ryan's going to show me tonight. I think he maybe has a few things to show off.
Okay.
I've been having some conversations with some composers. I think we nailed a composer. We'll see. We may have a composer. I don't know if they'll come on the show. I invited him to be on the show. But they're going to do some music for us in Game Boy land. We had to go to someone. And so we're contracting a person to do music. We'll talk a little bit about that journey, where we got to from there.
Totally.
If we have some time, we're not sure, we'll probably play another Jackbox game. But guess what we also have? Game Boy camera. So we're going to see if we can get ourselves on Game Boy camera potentially a little bit later today.
But Game Boy camera plugged into an analog pocket, which is basically, a emulating of Game Boy games, piped into OBS and then pumped out from OBS to Twitch.
We'll see if it works. Who knows? We're going to do this all on the fly. We don't do a lot of testing on this show. You've seen that before. So, hey, questions, comments, thoughts. We'd love to hear what's out there. We've had some good interaction on Discord. I think everyone's been a little busy, a little bit burned out from some sprints over the last months and whatnot.
Totally.
So the Discord has had a lot of AI chats in it lately.
Yeah,
but
it's good.
Maybe we'll touch base on that.
And we set up a whole place to check out all of the Game Boy progress that we're making. I've been posting little animated videos of new things. You can see it all if you're hanging out on the Discord.
So what are we doing? Are we going to go into ChatGPT? Is that the next discussion point? I think it is, right? Whoops.
Yeah. So you haven't heard about, or you
give me the lowdown on it.
Did you hear anything about kind of like what ChatGPT? So OpenAI, let's give it its 2 minute rundown.
Oh Jesus.
OpenAI had a big like reveal, and the reveal wasn't ChatGPT 5. They said that definitely wasn't going to be the case. That's later this year or next year. But they released 4.0, which Omega I think is what 4 Omega, I'm not sure exactly, whatever, but 4.0, and it's just their newest model that comes out. It's significantly Omni. There we go. Perfect.
Wait, Omni, like ever present, always around,
coming
for you.
I feel like
what the hell is Omni stand for?
They're not. It's a I don't know.
We got the 4.0. You keep going on it. I'm gonna look it up.
So what they it's a lot faster than 4 or even 4 Turbo is, with the same capabilities of all of that. And really what the biggest thing is that like it's supposed to be better and smart, like understanding sort of the context of things, like all of that, and that you can put in all of the different types of modalities, like web, video, documents, images of things. And it does it all in the same, it's not like switching back and forth between different, it's not going to DALL-E and then going back to itself. It's like all in the same model, which makes it like lighter running, faster and everything. And basically, just a better all around model. And they give it to everyone. You don't even have to, you don't even have to sign up for a OpenAI account to use.
They did say something about that, but I'm betting they limit people that are not paying for it, because I'm paying some cash for this thing.
I'm paying cash right now, and I was kind of like, you're gonna have to remind me, OpenAI, what my $20 is getting me at this point. I assume maybe priority, access, right? Like, how sometimes you'll go in and it will say like, oh, the servers
I'm pretty sure what you get when you pay for it is that they keep more of your data.
It's even
it's worse
because you signed up
because
you signed your life away for it. But so I've been using it, and I feel like,
so let's use this thing. You're getting me all hyped. What are we gonna do with it?
Well, so I want to. Do we want to do the tutorial, or do you want to? Or
well, let's do something with the platform itself. There's got to be something that's on here.
What do you want it to do?
Well, I mean, what shows the coolness of it?
Well, I guess it would be multimodal stuff, right? Like, so you would want to upload a video.
Oh, I gotta upload something?
Like, I guess, right? Like, because that's part of it. I mean, part of it is the non-sexy that it's faster.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's, something. But say we had, like, do you want to do...
Well, you know what I could do is, can I put a YouTube in there and that it will know that's a video and do something with it?
Yeah, let's try it.
All right, here. Okay, hilariously, I'm going to just show you a YouTube video I made this morning because I was trying to troubleshoot something online. So you're going to get a little sneak peek of something. So I was talking to some people in one of the Discord chats.
This is Roby from Smallbox. I just wanted to
It's voiceovering too.
Doing lately. I got this little bat that I swing around and
Oh, they can't see it.
The projectile that comes out of the front of it. It's like just for a second you could see it, and if it jump and you could kind of see it go up there. See, it's like up there when I swing. I have it come out pretty fast, which is good.
It's like,
let's go
what
beat
is that?
something.
What
I
is the
got ghost up in
accent?
this attic that I
Is
gotta
it
beat all the
something
time.
specific?
Hey, what's up? Beat you.
You got it.
He disappeared. I need to make some more effects. Maybe some knockback. Maybe a little bit of screen shake. It's gonna make it look better. But if I beat a ghost, you know what get me here, little ghost. I'm gonna beat you.
How long does this go? Adam?
Super cringe.
This is
super cringe. It's a minute.
You're like, it's 4 hours long while I test this game.
Okay, so we know what the video looks like. What could we do with that? What was that? A minute? Yeah, that was the longest minute, 14. So here's the deal is I have a chat, just so you know what the hell's going on, is on the right-hand side, I'm getting feedback from people. And usually people put these long things in there and they're like, how do I fix this? And how do I do all this stuff? So I just record these stupid videos with Roby and his little stupid voice. And like the end of it, though, I do this little thing. And I'm always like, this is do the Roby, by the way.
My ghosts. Yeah.
That's the Roby thing.
That's
Yeah.
the Roby. Yeah, nice.
So,
Perfect.
anyways, what can I do? Can I put that video into?
Yeah, let's try it.
All right. What do I need to do? Oh no, we don't want this.
Very successful computer person.
The social network.
I'm gonna share it and I'm gonna copy it.
This is
And can I have it do something? So, what's in this video?
Yeah.
Or
Describe. And I mean, I think the whole thing. I think you could do this before, couldn't it?
I don't know. This is you're telling me how to do this.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be able to take in different types of, like, it can scan video. It can scan.
Oh, there's restrictions in it. Oh, wait.
Due to
I'll help
restrictions?
summarize or analyze it yet. Okay.
Well, it wants you to provide a brief description.
Oh, it wants a
and key
description.
points.
Well, I own the damn thing, so I should be able to do that.
Is it like public or something? Is the YouTube?
Yeah, it's totally public. The video directly due to restrictions. Okay, well, if we needed a video, you should have told me this before. Is there some other kind of thing we can do? Do you have an artwork piece that we can throw in there? I could probably download that video, though, in a second here.
Yeah, well, you could go into my generative Illustrator folder
Okay.
and take the Dolly image out of there and put it in there.
All right, we're putting an image. Should we show everyone what this image looks like?
Sure.
All right, let's do that. So what you made? Oh, crap. Is this in Illustrator?
No, I think it's just PNG.
Okay. So what are we going to do with the
I don't
chat?
know. What can we like I assume before you could have it describe it, right? Or
Okay, fair enough. Describe and can it create video?
I don't know. See?
A new version of this image, I guess.
Yeah, because I like the idea of describing and creating an image.
Okay.
Because that'll be two.
Oh, there it is. There's your image.
There's
Right.
the image.
It's going to describe and create a new version of this image.
Well, and we could even look too. They have like some of the video. Have you seen the video of the person talking to ChatGPT? Oh, all right.
Damn. I don't know if that's good or bad. That like copied it hardcore. Wait, let's see here. Here's a new version of image based on your description. Storytelling with an open book transforming into an imaginative elements like stars, leaves, clouds, planets, and the light bulb, all set against a soft beige background with trees on either side.
Nice. It's almost like it looked at our video, or it looked at our image and went, what would be the prompt that I would give it to do that? And then it gave it the prompt and then said,
But
that's the summary.
The fact that it knew all of those things in there, look how close that is.
Yeah, the storytelling part of it, right?
That's
Like it wasn't just book open with objects above it.
no, I don't think so. Sorry, don't worry about that music in the background. Okay, so what are we gonna do with it next? Can you make a video of this?
Or like, can you do an animated GIF?
Can you make this? I'm just gonna say, can you make this animated? Do you think it will?
I don't
Probably
know.
gonna say no.
I don't think so, because I think Sora is there.
Wait, creating an animation requires a series of steps, including designing frames.
It's like, here's how you could go and do that yourself.
I can't create an animation, but I can guide you through the process. Okay. What does this little thing do down here? 4.0, change the oh, you can change the model on it as you go. Copy it, read aloud. Oh, it reads it now. I want to hear this. Let's hear.
We can have a conversation with it. Yeah, I have. So I've been using it in the app for the speaking, like going back and forth with it. It's been cool. Can you do that here?
To speak to it?
Yeah.
How would you speak to it?
I don't know.
I have a microphone connected to it. It's probably
Obviously.
fair. I don't know.
I guess maybe not. Maybe you have to have. Do you have to have the?
I saw the guy online. We can look at the thing that they were doing online. Do we want to look at that video?
Sure.
It was in the Discord.
I thought it was interesting.
It was all right. Let's see here. We'll see it in this one.
You have to. That's just a. I've done that multiple times.
I
don't know why they do that. Discord. Why do you do that?
It just wants to show it.
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm awesome. Listen, I got some huge news.
Oh, do tell. I'm all ears.
Well, in a few minutes, I'm going to be interviewing at OpenAI. Have you heard of them?
OpenAI? Huh? Sounds vaguely familiar. Kidding, of course. That's incredible, Rocky. What kind of interview?
Well, it's for a software engineering role, but I just need to know, do I look presentable, professional?
Well, Rocky, you definitely have the I've been coding all night look down, which could actually work in your favor. Maybe just run a hand through your hair or lean into the mad genius vibe. Your enthusiasm is what's really going to shine through.
She won't
I
be
don't
quiet.
have a lot of time,
Yeah,
so
well,
I'm
it's
just going
long,
to throw
right?
this on. What do you think?
I feel like it has to
Rocky,
be
that's
sped up
quite a
too.
Statement piece.
You think?
I mean, you'll definitely stand out, though maybe not in the
How
way
many
you're hoping
people?
for an interview.
Okay, I got it.
I don't know.
Like, how many of them did they have to? Like, okay, so here's the discussion point.
Yeah.
Are we at the her moment, right? Like,
Yeah.
are we at the moment? So,
Agreed. How do you disable flirty? It was like too yappy.
well, and
But are we at the her mode? That's a good point.
like if there was a New York Times story this week about one of the hosts from Hard Fork did a thing where he had like 18 AI friends that he had in big group chats together and stuff like that, and he gave them personas and chatted with them as if they were real friends to see like what that interaction kind of feels like. Does it feel hollow, right? Or does it feel like something that would be a fun interactive thing to do with people? Like, his thing was mostly like, it feels a little hollow, but sometimes like it can hit like as if it's giving you real advice in a real moment that you would like.
I would like to like put them against each other. Her meaning the movie Her,
Yeah.
or Anne from Arrested Development. Yeah, no. Was that who that was? Anne from Arrested Development in that voiceover?
No, her was
Yeah, I know it's a movie.
no. Who was the voice of
Oh, I got you.
it was the Invisible Woman from Fantastic Four. Jessica something. Anyway.
Biel?
Scarlett Johansson. Damn it. I didn't have Jessica right at all.
I just watched a movie with Johansson. I watched that freaking Lucy movie a gazillion times. But anyways, I don't want to get off track.
Don't want to get off track. So just like, I would love to hear your thing. Like, are we at the point where you think, like, will our kids have AI friends that they consider like close friends of theirs that are in group chats and doing things? Do you think it's gonna?
So here's my
hit
take on
that?
it. I'm glad you asked that question. I think that's very doable. Because my kids right now are always online and
Right.
always chatting with their friends anyway.
Yeah.
I'm wondering at a point when you're going to have friends with somebody that you don't even know that they're an AI.
Right.
Because so here's the deal. I've worked with somebody. I've been working for months on end. I've never met them in person. They're only like online. So I feel like I've developed a relationship with those people.
I work with an entire, like almost
Yeah,
an
yes,
entire
you do.
team in New Zealand, so I haven't seen a majority of those people. But I do think that it's like a thing that when you grow up with it, I think it's easier to accept. But I could see, like, let's say you and I were chatting back and forth, and we had a helpful assistant friend that there was just an AI bot in the chat being like, and when we they would just jump in and be like, oh, hey, heard you guys are talking about the game. Like, you know, I organized the thing and set it up for you in Discord if you want to work on that or something, or like,
oh man, it's like, it's a
would you want
slope.
that? Like, would you want, like, I don't know if would you want an AI project manager for your life? An EA?
I don't know. Like, I think we're doing it right now. We're just, because I have all these GPTs that help me in certain ways. I bet you would, I don't know. I get even snarky with my Google Home at this point. Like I talk smack to it because it like messes up.
You're the AI is coming for Adam. It's getting all this
yeah.
thing. It's like he's abusive to AI.
I'm not abusive, but I definitely get irritated with it.
You're like cursing at it.
All right, hold on a second. I downloaded that video.
Great.
I want to see if it can do anything. That was that same video I had, and I say, what is going on in this video? Is that good enough?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see. Okay, so it is checking it out.
And it, you know, it'll say like memory updating. Like, I don't know if you've been messing around with any or seeing any of that happen.
It doesn't have memory too. Like it knows a lot of
That's
what
I'm
you
saying.
said.
Like
before. Okay.
you can tell it's like something that it's, you know, saving to its memory.
It's doing something. It's thinking about it. It's
analyzing.
analyzing.
It's analyzing.
I mean, I kind of say it in the title, Roby test ghost beaten. Oh. 74.9. Okay. You can review the extracted clip here. Wait, I have extracted the first 10
Let me
seconds.
know if you would like a detailed description or analysis. Yes.
Wait.
Wasn't
You
that-
can review the extracted clip here.
What is that? Click on that.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Is it just like
It's just
just-
your file.
it just cuts the first 10 seconds off of it to check it out? All right, this is interesting. Please let me know if you like a detailed description and analysis. All right, let's look at the analysis.
Well, no, I mean, just
yeah,
no,
it
no,
looks
just
at the
ask
first
that.
10 seconds. Wait. Movie spy, building video, writing audio, and
You're like movie spy. I don't know if I don't know if I like
looks-
that.
This looks bad. Like,
Okay, say yes. Yes, I want a detailed description.
of the whole video?
Yeah.
It's going to analyze again. I'm interested to see what kind of clip it just brought out. It looks like it just put the first 10 seconds of it installing Napster.
Well, maybe we got it down. This is Roby from.
Oh, yep, that was the first 10 seconds. So
First 10 seconds.
indoors showing a person, character, engaging activity. Oh, God. Oh, it's doing the whole thing. The character starts interacting with Job as performing an action, possibly dancing and moving. Hell yeah, do the Roby, y'all.
It's dancing or moving rhythmically.
The action intensifies or changes, the character showing more dynamic movements. There's a Maichi change. This is great. Character continues their performance with more pronounced actions. Another transition or camera angle change. The character's actions become the focal point again, possibly involving more elaborate actions.
This is great because the video that you created was ridiculous. It like had there was no plot to the video. There was just random things happening. So this is perfect description.
Look at the end. The video starts to wind down, showing the characters less intense.
It's like trying desperately to add some kind of storyline or purpose to this character.
I'm going to ask it some questions. Is there a dance in the video? And what is the character's names?
Oh, like can it hear?
Yeah, I want to see if I can do that. I didn't spell the and video right, but don't worry about that.
I bet it gets it. It's like, sorry, stupid. I don't know.
So now we need to make it do something based off of that. Wait, seems I don't have the necessary module to just transcribe audio. What? I thought you were far. Oh boy.
This is not Omni.
Yeah, I thought this is everything almost. Oh wait, what does it say? I've extracted frames from different points in the video. You can review the frames to identify any dances or character moves.
It's like it's trying, you know.
You gotta give it that.
It's trying to give you something.
All right, let's
It's
see.
like here's a single frame from your video.
All right, let's
Is
see.
he dancing?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's
He
getting,
nailed it. Yes.
You're down.
Dance check.
All right, so let's
You like create.
make a movie poster
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
for this clip, right?
Yes.
Is that enough? Do you want to put any more?
Like make me a movie poster for this clip.
Yeah, there we go. I like it. I mean, the fact that it can take frames, it can take pieces out of it. That's
Right.
awesome.
It like it can do all the things that you would need. It's just we didn't ask for that, right? Like, because there are some times where I would be like, hey, give me a few frames out of this so I can check the color balance or something.
Now I'm curious if it's gonna like take the fact that we talked about dancing and make it into a dance movie poster.
Sure, maybe.
Or what, oh,
like
God.
that's what I would tell. Is exactly Roby test.
Oh, goose beating Busternin.
Oh man, that's
Dude, and
pretty
he
good.
has his knee up just like that.
And like he has his hair is all messy.
Oh my
He's
God.
got a white shirt on.
That is badass.
Does
Look
he have
at-
a watch?
Yes, he
He
does.
has a watch on. It's pretty good.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Why is it sitting like just in a room there?
Like he's in a room and the poster is in a room.
look, it has a light like we had in the
Oh,
thing.
nice.
It has windows in the back. We never had a plant though.
It's pretty good.
God, I want to zoom into this. How do I zoom in? I need to download this. Oh my
pretty good.
God, that is amazing. All right, let's see if I can get this open in a browser because there's something in this the thing. It says with a supernatural theme subtly integrated into the background.
Roby test ghost beaten.
They probably use that as the thing. Wait, what? Web PD to your image?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't know what that
Saved
means.
it as a web P.
Okay, there's Ryan's thing. I don't know why.
That's what ChatGPT gives you.
Well, I knew that much. I thought I opened it up though. Oh, here it is. It's right here. Okay, let's zoom in.
Oh, is there like it's supposed to be like supernatural stuff happening, right?
Yeah,
Like ghosts and
this is the
things.
poster. I just love that. Roby teased, goose
Ghost
beast,
beaten, bursting.
Oh, good stuff. Okay, man.
Pretty good.
There's probably a lot more we could do with that. I'm gonna play it. I was actually very
That's it.
disappointed lately with some of the imagery that comes out of this. I got to be honest with
Really?
you because it keeps like, no, we can't do that because of copyright and all these other things.
Really?
And I'm like, I'm
never-
telling you not to. I was like,
Oh.
do something that's like this style, but not this style and not that person or not that thing. So I have a friend and she likes a specific type of art. And I was trying to make AI generated kind of almost like a meme for them. And I put in her art type and I'm trying to remember what it was offhand. I can't remember what it was. And then put it in like a movie style scene. And I was like, I don't care. It doesn't need to be like the movie and it doesn't need to be like their original art, but just take that as kind of, and then like, we can't do that. And then I kept trying it again and it came out really bad. And then it was super biased. And I was
Oh,
like,
man.
come on, like white lady, skinny, like
Right.
not what I
Totally
like, come
not
on.
good.
It
Huh.
felt bad.
Well, it would be interesting to hear over the next couple of weeks. I'm sure you will do stuff with it and to hear.
I threatened it too. I was like, I'm going back to Midjourney.
Oh man, and it was like,
I was like, all
sorry,
right.
I already canceled your mid.
It's like, too bad. Sam Altman already has your soul.
You're like I blacklisted you from Midjourney.
Michael knew. Frida. Yes, you knew it was Frida. That was it. You can't do Frida and you can't do Matrix. I was trying to do a Frida art in the Matrix. Didn't happen. Can't make it happen in ChatGPT.
That would have been fun. That would have been a fun picture too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I could see that being fun. What are we playing?
Who's ready for some Jackbox? I feel like it smells like Jackbox.
Sounds
in here.
like it's like we need a Jackbox moment.
Yes, we do. All right, Jackbox TV, everyone.
Jackbox.
Get it on your phones. Get it while it's hot. We have enough people to play some Jackbox right here. We're
Hell
gonna get
yeah,
this,
we do.
this going. So,
It's Jackbox.tv.
which one are we gonna play today? I have to log into this thing. Good thing you know my password now. All right, we have Drawful. Which one is it? Oh, it's in 10. I think it's in 10. Yep. We're gonna play version 2 because then we can edit everyone's art.
Oh, right. Yeah.
All
That's
right.
good.
We'll make ourselves smaller.
Protest. Remember, we're protesting. This is a protest game.
Oh, do we need to?
That's the theme.
Should we change our stream thing? Hold on a second.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna just let
a good
everyone
idea.
know that we're doing this.
I asked ChatGPT why Frida violates their content policy. The content policy restricts creating images in a specific style certain artists who could be free to follow or well known and whose work are protected. This is why I was unable to generate the image. If you have another idea or how, oh man, I feel like everyone is getting sued over these. We have been having talks in our company about what is litigation of using, or what is even the like morality of using people's data to build GPTs based on them, like, or based on just sort of aggregate data. It's crazy. It's gonna be a crazy thing.
Oh man, I'm getting the game set up. Who is ever getting there first wins. I'm gonna use this like QR code.
Like a chump.
Be lazy.
Like a.
Try enemies first. Got Talon in next.
All right, Mike Zool.
All right, let's see here.
Whoa.
Man.
I gotta represent the bird.
All right, let's see here.
Birdhouse.
I like it.
Anonymous is in. We have an H.E. Higley.
Huh? Oh, we got 8 people potentially in this thing now.
Catherine might also be watching.
All right, we're gonna give her a couple minutes. We have 3 more slots.
3 more slots.
Jackbox TV, y'all. We'll play 1 or 2 of these.
It's good. It's a bop.
It is a bop. There's like people I think that are online that like they see it and they're like, bam, get in on this.
Need a room code? Here you go. RVNA.
Did you push a button to make that happen?
I did.
Oh, you can read it. That's nice.
It's nice for the chat in case anybody's, not watching.
All right, we're giving everyone a second here. Do we have anybody new? We have a new viewer out there. You a Jackbox player? We're just gonna play a little Jackbox in the middle of our stream. This is a new thing. Come on, join the stream.
It's a protest theme.
Protest is the theme. You have to do things about protesting. I don't have a pen for this thing. Use my finger. All right.
Yeah, who's not using their finger?
I don't know.
Cheaters.
People that have like notes and Samsungs now.
Catherine has.
All right, we're rolling. We got to roll.
All right, let's do it.
Welcome back to T-Shirt Island. I am the new tournament mistress, and under my watch, the time of fashion combat has returned! Greetings, warriors. I want 3 drawings from you. So get busy using your device to create them. Start drawing now. Draw whatever comes to mind. And ask for a suggestion if you need it. Don't be proud. You'll be doing 3 of these, so save some ideas for later.
How do you change the size of it? Is there a way to do that? No, I don't think there is there? You don't have to do them all in that first 90 seconds, right?
Time's halfway up to finish your first drawing.
Okay,
Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, I was gonna say she answered right away.
See, I know. 30 seconds, y'all. Oh, shoot. 10 seconds left, y'all. Ryan always takes the longest.
Yep.
If you haven't
Why
started
wouldn't
your
you take your
second
entire
drawing,
time?
Time to get into it.
Some of us are better drawers than you.
That's true. That's true.
One more drawing after this. You're halfway through your time.
Oh, we can get to the third drawing already. Nice.
Mother.
I think you could swipe back to that, but I don't know.
I can't. Every time it doesn't work.
Hopefully you're
10
Oh,
seconds.
it left it in.
10 seconds. Maybe it's this Jackbox version.
If you haven't started your third drawing, maybe, do that.
It forces you to have already started your third drawing at this point.
How so?
Because I got kicked
This
out of
is
my
your
second
last
drawing.
drawing.
Hopefully it
Don't
put that
you
second one in,
phone
it did.
in.
Looks like it did.
Be aware, your time is halfway up. Ten more seconds.
Fine.
There it is. Ryan put it in.
Slogan writing time.
You don't even
I'd
have
like
to.
At least
You can
four
just
from
let
each
it
of you.
expire and it puts
Begin
it in.
writing now.
Oh, God.
These are short little phrases with as much or as little thought as you want. And ask for a suggestion if you want. We've all done it. Just start typing and see what happens. You're halfway through your time. Ten seconds, wrap it up. What makes a great shirt? You do, apparently. Choose one drawing and one slogan to make one contender for battle. Begin now. Remember to check out the different clothing and writing styles you can use. The day is about making choices.
love these.
Seconds left. I think these items are ready for battle.
I will say that
Begin
the theme went completely out of my mind when I started. No one to fold.
Oh, paper cuts. Oh,
Yeah,
those
that's
are
a good
good.
drawing. Those are both really good. Oh, mine doesn't have the same shirt.
Ah, it doesn't.
Isn't that weird?
That was weird.
I liked it.
They were both like on
Get it, tank top.
point.
Oh, see, they needed to be switched.
Oh, that would have been great. Well, one has poop on it though. It's funny. I'm voting against my own.
That's when you really know that you're like one got me.
Free poop. Actually, that was good too.
Tank top throwdown.
Tank top throwdown.
Man, they're all really good. Damn.
Yes.
That's good. Good job.
It feels bad that you could vote for yourself.
Oh man. I love that we theme this now. Gotta vote.
Oh, it was the one. Good job. Yeah.
I see a winner.
Hell yeah.
Good job.
Let's keep it moving. Time for one more drawing.
Okay.
Listen up. You can start fresh, like before, or change a drawing from earlier. Make your choice now.
Give you a
Looks
lot.
like you've all chosen. Now get to work.
Oh wow, it took a minute for somebody to choose.
Good. That just gave me more time.
If you're not the best artist, remember, the eraser's your friend. I can tell there's some real magic happening. "30 seconds left. 10 more seconds.
Oh, come on, get the little nut to drop. Damn it.
I was trying to help.
Now for a few more slogans, at least 4. Start writing now.
Okay.
Don't forget about the suggestion button, sweethearts. You're halfway through your time. Ten seconds.
Whew.
Now, choose from the new drawings and slogans on your device and craft that garment. Remember, the garment and slogan style are yours to control.
Somebody wrote me a good slogan. I appreciate them.
30 seconds.
Whoever wrote that slogan is good, and I will be stealing it from now forward.
It's a new mantra for you, huh?
Or it's just like, it's a good one. I feel like that could go with lots of different things and right in my wheelhouse. And
Battlefield calls.
I'm excited.
Let the tournament begin! New double hoodies! Fight! Vote now!
It's great. I love somebody messed with the box. Those are both good.
I like it is a fist.
It is a fist. Ah, close one. Yeah. It's good.
Oh, Jesus.
Lobby till you get caught. Ah. Good job, Azul.
Gotta go to the ones that, like, you get to see that dance, that booty. Oh.
That speak up one is really, the drawing is really good.
Ronald McDonald twerking. I think that was.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I might like that would be a good shirt to have.
Like an actual shirt.
Yeah. With like the police spelled wrong at the bottom.
Oh no. Those are both good.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I wouldn't have thought.
I mean, it was hard. That twerking Ronald is like
Pretty good.
spot on right now.
Pretty good.
Oh, we got a winner!
Nice. Dang.
Oh damn.
Shall we?
Talon. Looking good. I thought that was the end.
No, this is the final battle, right?
In the final round, the champs from both rounds duke
this
it out
just
to
voting?
see who
Yeah, I
takes
think it is.
all.
Okay.
This time, vote for your favorite and keep on voting until the power bar of your favorite choice is full.
It won't let me.
2,
Oh.
1, go!
I don't know if I necessarily love just like tapping the screen a lot.
It's a battle.
I guess.
Because, oh man, this is a tough one.
Pinky's losing, or is he winning? Are we winning?
Top at the bottom.
Ah, I see. Blue fire on your ass.
Presenting your champion.
Because like wanting free poop that
You've
and
restored
don't use
honor
trees
to
to
T-shirt
kill trees with your bow is
and
good.
to the phrase polycotton
Good
glue.
protest. I mean,
Yeah, it's a great
Ready for an
protest. Great
impromptu
protest shirt.
fashion show.
hell yeah, y'all.
Champion.
Man,
How
don't,
did Anonymous win?
don't worry about that. I only came up with the shirt.
All right. I don't know. Best artist says differently.
Was that
Best writer, also not anonymous.
was
so it
that
seems
Roland or
weird.
Ronald? Wait, what was I also?
You were the most prolific.
I write a lot of slogans. Trust me. Most ignored, but you also were on the top. Yeah, you can buy these.
Totally. I have one.
I like that it's on a. We have to like take pictures of these and put them online.
Yeah, I wonder if do you have to buy it in the version that it was here, or can you be like, oh, I don't want it as a sweatshirt, I want it as a tank top?
I think you have to buy it as is.
You have to buy it
What
as
was the
is.
slogan you loved?
Kill all humans.
Oh, nice.
Oh, see, yeah, you could do it. You can even do it as a long sleeve T-shirt.
Oh yeah, you can. And you can buy any one of those as well. So
anything from the whole thing. Anyway, that's cool. Birds aren't real. That's a good one. That's a good slogan.
that is fun. I
Yeah.
mean, I like the idea that we can always do this on the show and jump
Totally.
in, and we're trying to make it more interactive. We're always
Yeah.
listening to the audience, you know, seeing what's
Totally.
going. So we may actually play a little bit more in just a bit. Thanks for joining in on that one. It was fun.
Would you want to change this back?
Oh yeah, we should change it back because people are gonna think that we're
Playing Jackbox.
which
I'd
it might
change
be.
the Twitch.
Are we on a talk show right now, or
Yeah.
are we just chit chatting? All right. I guess they got some new categories out there.
Hmm.
All right, we're back on the show. Ryan is.
Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out.
Have a good one, sir. Thank you. Next up on the show, Ryan is going to talk about Illustrator and a tutorial, right?
Yeah. Well, I was doing some projects at work that required ChatGPT and Illustrator generative AI, and I was like, this could be a cool little project. It was interesting, and it was one of those projects where after I was done with it, I was like, hell yeah, future. Like, yes. Future stuff of this generative AI is helping me in my everyday life as a designer, and like, awesome, because that would have taken me a long time to do. So I was just going to talk about it for a little bit.
Hell yeah. So one of the things about the show is we are trying to do educational pieces. We have it in our tags, and we want to also do things that you guys may want to see in the future. So let us know in the chat. Ryan is about to show us. Not this. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
He's going to show us this. I like the music, though, by the way.
It is. It's good. Do we have ChatGPT
I
open?
know, but you're, closing out our stuff over there when you do that. So here,
Can I bring up ChatGPT over here?
It's already opened over here, but yeah. All right, we're gonna get to ChatGPT. I don't like to show my like little ChatGPT
Don't
things.
move that.
Let's see, it's already
Okay,
closed.
it's already
It's
hidden.
good to go.
So this is good because we're gonna use 4.0.
Okay.
And so here's what I would say. As a designer, sometimes I need little images of things. Like we do tools, like leadership tools in what I'm, at the work that I do. And so I need little just little thumbnails or little, images to go into stuff. But the problem is I also need them branded the right color. And I feel like ChatGPT often does a bad job at that. And so there's like this fun little trick that I've been doing. And really all that is like, I'm going to generate some vector art from ChatGPT. Let me see. I'm going to just use the same prompt that we used before.
And that was the prompt for your other little book thing, right?
Yeah. Just so that we have something easy to use.
So let's read that out. Ryan doesn't know how to copy and paste.
I know. Apparently I don't. Copy, right? Then paste. I,
It's probably my computer.
like did I not control C and control V that?
Here's what we can do. Let's see if it pastes up there. It doesn't. Maybe you have to. The shortcut.
It's weird. We're trying to copy out of a image description.
Oh, I bet you I know what it is. Hold on a second. The keyboard needs to be reassociated with the thing. There you go.
Elements, maybe?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So I use a lot of vector. We use a lot of vector images, but ChatGPT can't do vector images, but it can like fake that style, right? Which is kind of what we saw before. And so if I put this in, we're hoping to get like one image that we can use that would be interesting, but it's probably not going to be the right color.
So we're
right?
using ChatGPT 4.0 to basically get
yeah,
vector
like an image.
kind of image.
Yeah, it's going to kind of look vector-like, which it does, right? It's not actually vector. It's made up of tiny pixels. You know, this is a, what are they?
I love those unicorns.
1200.
That is looking good.
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is looking great. Like, this is looking like a little kid, you know, thing of storytelling. Okay, great. I'm going to download that one.
Got it.
All right. Now, let's say instead, and
What do you need to
do
get
a
into?
Trello.
Trello's
no,
right
wait.
there. I just know how to use a computer.
Was that not what I was clicking on?
No,
Okay.
you did not click on that.
Okay. So a lot of times, no, not that one. What will happen is I will want a certain set of colors.
Ooh.
And oftentimes I try to tell it inside of ChatGPT, especially when we're doing our Game Boy, because I want it to be like a certain Game Boy colors. I will say, great, but limit the colors to these hex codes. Right? And then I'll say, these are the hex codes of the colors that I want, which I'll bring this over so you can see what that is.
Wait. It's telling you that? Okay, cool.
So like these are the colors that I want, right? Like keep it within these 6 colors is basically what I'm telling it. And let's see what happens. So I'm like, great.
We've done this before, right?
And we sort of have, but like, come on.
It's doing something.
It's doing something. It's never gonna look the same. So if you loved that one, that's why I saved it. But it's definitely going to look different. And so, you know, kind of maybe closer than what happened before with it, but like those are definitely not the same colors, right? Like where's my bright orange? Like, and if I'm doing something with a brand, it kind of has to be right on, right? Like it can't be close to it. So in this sense, like which one do you like better?
That the rainbow one above is
Rainbow one?
that
Okay.
way better.
So then what I was doing is I was like, here's my colors in Illustrator.
Yeah.
So I have them each sort of, this just happened to be a random graphic that we use for that. And what I'll do is I'll import in, where do you think that went? Did
Desktop.
it download to desktop?
Heck yeah, it did. I put everything in my desktop.
Okay. And so I'm placing this inside, and what we can see right now is like, that is definitely not a vector image, right? Even though it kind of looks like that, it isn't. And what we can do inside of Illustrator, oh God, it's killing me. Wait, I'm going to put this over here. Do you mind?
Do it.
Okay. So then now we have this sort of image inside of Illustrator, right? But what we really want to do is be able to make a vector image of that one. So we're going to do image trace. And this is this weird little floating, context sensitive, you know, what are you going to do right now for you? And so I'm going to image trace it. And basically what that's going to do is I'm going to tell it, I need you in color. But I can't right now tell it how, like, what colors I want in there specifically. Like, I can't be like, give me just those 5 colors.
Why did it turn all black?
because it's thinking and your computer is slow apparently.
Yeah.
You're like, no, that can't be it.
This Windows 10 amazing machine. Come on now.
Not happening. Okay. So now it's vectorized in the sense you can see it's a little bit different. Like if I was doing this for real, I'd go in and mess with some of these settings.
This guy has an MFA. This guy knows his design. So
well, and so now I'm gonna trace it, which is trace it, and now it's expand. So now you can see it's vector, graphics now. Each of these is a little line, but they're also colored the wrong color. And so what I thought was amazing is you can just select this, and I'm going to say, I want to recolor this object. And it says, yeah, here's all the images. Here's all the colors that was in your object. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want those colors. I just want these colors. And then it'll be like, great, I put them all in, and now it is just these colors. It's sort of done this weird purple background. But for the most part, like...
It took all the colors that you just had.
Took all the colors that I just had, added them in appropriate places for them to be the colors that I want for my branded thing. And like now, if I really hate that color, I'll just say like select, same, fill color, and delete that out. And then like I could have that on my background. And what it meant for me as a designer is I could go in and create all of these different dolly images that I needed colored very specific ways for a client and go, give me all of those cool ones in that same style. I don't care what colors they are. Bring them in, vectorize them, and then just like circle these amount of colors and say, yeah, change it in the way that's appropriate.
And then get your updates.
And then just be like, great, that looks good. Maybe I have to mess with it a little bit, but like it was one of those things where it felt very magic in the moment.
It does, but not as magical as this freaking unicorn over here. How do I move this thing?
Spacebar.
There we go.
Nice.
This moment, I feel like I want that tattooed on me now. That is the most angelic unicorn that I've ever seen.
With his like, he has like a paunchy little belly.
No, so I can get you from a perspective of not being in the design space as much as I used to be, and you've always been above and beyond in this space. Is that it's like the rapid prototyping to get from one space to another like that. You're able to just get an image, recolor it pretty well, because honestly, those colors seem to match in those areas. Like you may be like, I don't want this color to be this color, and
in fact,
adapt it a little bit.
It's funny because, of course, in this tutorial, I did this before. I did this a bunch of times. It was better before, like it would, there are still wrong colors inside of this, right? Like this blue isn't part of this.
I was going to say the
like
black
this,
too.
This part, like this, like those things aren't in here. And the ones that maybe this is like a more complicated shape than I was doing before, but before it was nailing it. It was like, here's the exact colors in appropriate ways for this image. And what's cool, like you said, it's like rapid prototyping, right? I can be like, yep, give me an image, put it in here, put it in the colors. Nope, I don't. Put it into the layout and be like, no, I hate that one.
What happens when you do this?
And then it's like three afterwards. Generate vectors is their version of like...
We did that before, but can you take this and then like generate vectors off of that?
I don't think you can...
What does that do?
Describe the vector graphic. I think it's sort of changing this one now.
Put unicorn Love Fest. I want Unicorn Love Fest on this one.
Love Fest hyphenated?
Yeah, that's cool. All right, we're going to agree to it.
Agree.
Okay. Man, I'm excited.
So what do you think it's going to do? It's going to change it completely or incorporate Unicorn Love Fest into this drawing?
I have no idea. I don't play
what's
with
your
this enough.
prediction? What's your prediction?
I feel like it's going to change it or give you some other iterations of it.
Or like keep it in the same sort of style?
Possibly.
Or colors?
That moon's pretty sick too.
The little sleepy moon.
Yeah, this is a good one. They did a great job. I feel like they totally ripped somebody off though that made all these cool things though.
So some kind of icon.
So this is Illustrator beta that we're using right now?
Yeah, so to use any of that generative AI stuff, you have to be using the beta. which is I just end up defaulting. I end up defaulting to all the Adobe betas now. Photoshop.
Whoa. Okay, it's definitely a love fest.
It's definitely a love fest. that looks like a little girl's poster from the 80s.
I like it. I like how
It has nothing to do with what it had.
I was
selected
hoping for
before.
something a little bit better, a little bit more like on par with what we had before. It just like took your thing and it's like, yeah.
Talk
never
about
mind.
new tattoo.
Hell yeah. I think I want this one. If I had to pick, if I had to,
These all feel very brony.
yeah, this is the one. Look at that emotion in that face.
They are like flirting with you in that they're
Yeah,
giving you,
they
like
are.
the sex eyes.
Like, hey, you the one. You wanna smack some of these
Oh,
unicorn
man.
horns, huh?
Oh my
Huh?
god! It just you're like change the category on Twitch to furry.
You know what? Like I feel like if we ever got, let's say 1,000 viewers at once,
Yeah.
I would make the thing of like doing a prompt in AI and getting the first prompt came out as the tattoo. How sweet would that be? I would do it. Like,
Nice.
all right, let's go in. Whatever comes out, that's my tattoo.
Man, I feel like, and who's typing in what the prompt is?
The
You're
chat,
typing-
the
oh,
1,000
chat.
people,
Oh
they
my
have to come up
God.
with whatever it is.
You're just that feels like a disaster.
Absolutely, that would make it awesome.
Nice.
All right, thank you for
Every
showing
week,
us.
and you just have like a grid around your leg going up, and it's just a new tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
of whatever that week's prompt is,
A year of tattoos. You get it.
all blended together into your calf,
Tattoo of the
like,
week.
Tattoo
All right,
of the week.
you get those things in there, and I will
Man.
get that going.
Wow, that would.
And I would have to get the tattoo before the next time. I would do
absolutely.
it every other
You'd have
week.
to like know the tattoo artist or live with the tattoo artist or something.
I
at that
could
point.
make that happen. Heather's like, no.
Yeah,
Oh my
you're
God.
like some ridiculous thing. She knows that we're never gonna get to 1,000 viewers anyway. So
I'm gonna put
It's
this on.
easy.
Yeah, so this would be the first one I put on. This would be it
exactly. Tramp stamp
because
on
I
it.
came up with this at the very beginning. Thank you, Ryan, for that.
Yeah.
This is always good to see the new art that's coming out of there.
love having it with the sexy
Oh,
sexy unicorns up. She's into it.
I got to go for it.
You
So
got to go ahead.
I'm down. I'm gonna save this to my computer just in case that happens.
Just in
No,
case
I
that
have
happens, I
my.
gotta have it. Anyway, I thought that was a fun way to be using that stuff. It really tickled me today when I was using it.
Well, and I can see from your perspective. I think anybody that uses AI in some capacity and then it does the thing that you're hoping it can do,
Yeah.
or some version of it that you don't even know about. That's the whole
Yeah.
point of it.
Right.
There's so many people that are up in arms about how it sucks and how they're taking over their livelihood. And you know what? They're probably right in certain ways. I don't want to denigrate like
Yeah.
some of the things that they're taking over. But you also have to think about it like every other kind of thing that you've had up to this point. It's going to change the way that
Yeah.
you do things. We're at that point.
I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about a movie that was coming out and it used a few AI generated imagery for posters, or I can't remember exactly which part of it. And people were like boycotting it and everything. And I can sort of, understand that, I guess, like if you're really passionate about that and everything. But I thought, man, it is going to get so integrated into every tool. Like, how are you even going to protest something? If I use Photoshop generative fill to like fill a corner of something with cooler trees on my Photoshop illustration, is that generated AI art that's worth protesting in a thing? I feel like right now there's like, you used an AI image or you didn't use an AI image, and so I'm going to protest you and not this one. But I feel like it's integrated into every tool that artists use, and so at some point it's going to be hard to differentiate which is fully AI, which is fully AI, which is fully human, and which is like a mixture of the two.
It's the resistance that we're starting with now. It's going to change over time. The other thing too is how much of AI are you using? There was a whole thing on Netflix that came out. Maybe it was Netflix, but they had this like somebody that got killed in a murder or killed their parents or something like that. And they used an AI image in the show to like say, she was happy and all this other stuff. And then people were like, BS. And they went, they were pawning it off, this company that made this show that said this was a picture of like showing some of the history of this girl being happy before she killed her parents. And people were like, that's a freaking AI. And her hands all like combobulated and like messed up. And you're like, it was clearly an AI image.
Yeah.
And so then it starts to like,
This might be literally the same thing that we're talking about, actually.
I'm sure it could be. But then there's some other ones that have used AI in their artwork and they just weren't up in front about it. And they're like, well, we're paying all this money for it. I think this was one that Mike Azul talked about. There was a board game that was coming out and they used a bunch of AI in it and they were kind of pawning it off like they were doing the art. I don't know. It's going to keep people up in arms. It's funny. I think about the board game and how hard we went on it with like AI and we were like, this is cool. We can make AI make a board game. I'm sure there'd be people PO'd about that.
Really?
Now at this point, they'd be like, you took my livelihood and you did all this. And I mean, we were just pushing it to see how quickly you can do things with it.
Yeah. I feel like we would have never made a board game.
Hell no, without that.
If we hadn't had that.
Did the world need another board game or not?
Maybe not, but I feel like the world needs experiments in creativity.
Hell yeah, they do.
And that's part of what this is, right? It's hard to have a tool like that and not want to build things off of it and use it in things. It's gonna be it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a weird year. A lot of litigation and all kinds of stuff coming.
We called it though. Yeah. We called that.
Yep. We're gonna have to look at it, re-look at what our predictions were for our end of the year podcast.
We said there was gonna be legality stuff. We thought that's really where it was gonna go. So, You know what I was gonna say though. So at work, and first of all, Mike Azul, who I do work with as well. He is getting into some cool AI tools that were being piloted. I ended up getting premium Teams AI, which I'm not sure if you're familiar. So Teams being part of the Microsoft suite, that's, there's Zoom and there's all these other things. So we're a Microsoft shop. So we got Teams and I live in Teams a lot of the time. Lots of video, a lot of back and forth, a lot of chat in that environment. So when it upgraded me to the Teams premium AI version, when I record videos or a meeting, it's really crazy what it does. Well, I'm starting to see it in the workforce. So at least in this version of it, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff, what it does is it will take everything that was said in the transcription and then it like summarize it into the bullet points and it says here are all the bullet points. It creates a table of contents of the meeting.
Right.
It tells you here are the different kinds of themes that are going in the meeting. You can click to different points. They'll tell you the percentage a particular person talked in there,
how fast they talked,
like all of this data about the meeting that you just went to, and you have this amazing like trove of information. Now I'm just like curious of how validating it is, or like how real are these tasks that it's saying that I should do, or these bullet points. I get a little bit like, I don't know if this is truly the next actions I need to be taking from that.
I would say, so we use Fireflies, which is just like a plugin for things. So it just shows up to every meeting and it just in Zoom or we're Google. So we use a lot of Google Suite stuff and Google Meet. And so it just shows up as a character in with everybody else. And it's just a square and it's Fireflies. And then Fireflies sends you the report after every single meeting with, you can listen to it. You can see a transcript. You can see all of that stuff. I find the transcript and being able to move around and then listen to parts of it and search the transcript far more helpful at this point than any of the like summary action items and things like that it's doing. Like if I look at the action items, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, that was not my action item coming out of that thing. So it's still not perfect. Like I get the idea that it's going to, it just needs to get better and it will. But even just the transcript, an instant transcript of the entire thing to search and listen to any point in it from like a keyword, super good.
I think it's amazing. And the other thing too that's coming out with it, and then we'll transition to some game talk, was that because you have like its ecosystem and it's Microsoft and they're all plugged into OpenAI and other things like that, it's starting to say, hey, you save all your files to the cloud and we know who you share certain files and certain things with. And we know you don't want to share all that with the outside world. So it's building this weird ecosystem within your environment and knowing who has shares. So like, let's say you and I are collaborating on a document, and you know, Susie and Johnny are over here also doing that. And we have this one little shared file. And then we have our own individual files that are there. So as we're searching our files or we're looking through things, it's going to bring up content from all of the stuff that we've collabed on and shared.
Right.
And you can not only access the document, but it might pull insights and formatting and all kinds of other stuff from it, but it keeps it closed within your environment.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of like this crap. Do we want that to happen? Like what happens
Right.
when you accidentally share something with the organization and now
Right.
it's trained off your data and everyone's like, what the heck is this thing? Or I mean, it's opening some crazy doors that we're not starting to understand where that's going.
I think everyone, and I thought maybe people would understand this after social media, that the data that you produce as a person in the world and as a worker in your workplace is valuable data, right? It's not just the output that you have as a worker. It's the data that you're like doing and getting and collaborating and doing to that. And that is worthwhile and probably should be paid for by someone. Like, I guess like it just feels like something that everyone is going to start realizing, that we're just training models for free off of the stuff that the model absolutely needs, which is our data. But I have no way to monetize my data or anything that I do that they really need. They really need it, and they could take it from me for free, basically, right now. And of course it's training everything, and eventually it's going to be everything, right? Is going to go into these, you know, large language models or whatever the next AI is. And, you know, the amount of data that you put back into the system to train it, I feel like is going to be how you monetize yourself and your work and everything that you do.
So you're just like a feeder of the system.
Yeah, like into a massive AI system that is doing things and, you know, making decisions and doing that for all of humanity. But like you're putting it in, and if you're doing interesting and cool and different things into it, then that's worth more to the AI.
The creative side
than
of it.
like the creative side and interesting, and, you know, like it doesn't care about your rote data entry at that point, right? So that's what I feel like. That's what people will start monetizing is this type of stuff, you know?
It's going to be interesting as a future step as to how we start to see these things. Like I was walking around the neighborhood with my son the other day and get to the rabbit hole. He's like, "You gonna talk about the singularity again, Dad?"
Like, dude, do we have to have another walk around the block where it just ends up?
Yeah, because we were saying, like, is that what humanity is really going to? Like,
Right.
isn't the thing that we're always trying to extend our life, and the way that if we could build this like robot and it lives and breathes and thinks like us, and that like it perpetuates the species? Is that a thing? I don't know.
Did I pose this? I know we have 2 minutes. We want to be done at 9:30. Like, say that a meteor was going to crash into the earth in 5 years.
Yeah, you did say this
Okay, all right.
one. But okay, we can have it again if you like.
Just would we
together.
would we give the AI all of our data to be like, get it smart enough? We would just pick one and be like, give it everything, let it be smart enough to figure out this thing, and then we'll help it build it and whatever. And hopefully
I'm sure a lot
we
of
could do
people
this.
did. We were just saying, like, not every country would come together. People
Yeah.
would debate it. Others would think theirs is better, and it would just be kind of this
Right.
whole big
It would be the
shit
same.
show
It would be the
of
same
everything,
thing
so
until we just got hit by a meteor 5 years later. I think that's probably right.
I'm pretty sure that's what would
It's a
happen.
pessimistic view, but it's also probably the right view.
That's why I'm saying, like, we're gonna put all of the data at that time into some sort of like new robot and
nice.
chuck it out to space, and that's now gonna be humanity.
Perfect.
Think about that thing they sent out that had all the scrawlings on it on that kind of thing.
Carl Sagan's record.
What if we like at one point like loaded as much as we possibly could and took out as much of the radius kind of crap and put it into some sort of like Boston Dynamics Dynamics robot,
Right.
put it out there with some way that it would have like solar ways to live, and just shot that out into the universe and said, this is humanity.
No, and then it has all of our DNA, and it has things to like, build factories and clone us and do things. So we just shoot it at whatever planet could support life.
Snap.
It crashes into the planet, and then it just like starts, using robots to build, all of this stuff, and then it just clones us and shoots our DNA back into the clone, and then boom, I'm just on this new planet.
That's, I mean, that would be nuts. I like that. Yeah, I like that. How do you think humans got here in the first place?
Exactly.
I mean, but actually, that is an amazing story. I think you just wrote some skull bobs.
Yeah,
Seriously.
right, yeah. I feel like some sci-fi has covered that territory.
But
before,
the idea that, like, let's say you perpetuate the species because you know how to, like, take some sort of things to build a human in a test tube baby kind of thing. Like, you're like, we're not going to survive this event.
Yeah.
So you put enough of this stuff inside this robot to like shoot it off, and then it creates the first two little like babies or whatever, and like genetically gets them and raises them.
Yeah. That would be like the Adam and Eve story
Yeah.
style of it, right?
That's what
like
I'm
where you
saying.
Well, there was a great, and we got to move on. There's a great book where humanity does that. It shoots out stuff and says whatever's on that planet, like find the sort of ape mammal on the planet and like inject them with a bunch of our DNA so that they evolve like us. And so then by the time our generational ship gets there, they're humans. They're humans like us. And they built up the society to our level of expectation so that when we get there, things are good. Things are good for us. They figured it out already.
And then have these stories of like it's coming in the future.
And here's the twist on the book. It screws up and doesn't infect mammal like ones. It infects spiders. And so the arachnids have like our brain stuff, and so it's like combining with arachnids. And so by the time we get there, it's a crazy developed spider planet.
I love that. I love it. We need the spider planet.
Children of Time. That's the name of it. I just remembered off the
this
top
is
of my
one.
head.
So you were just telling a story. I thought we were making up a story.
No,
here.
that was the story. Children of
And
Time.
it was spiders.
And it's spiders.
That's crazy. There's a show on Netflix about spider things.
We-
Have you seen that one?
Mm.
It's with the dude, Happy Gilmore.
Oh, nice. Adam Sandler.
Yeah, Adam Sandler goes in space. He's an asshole astronaut, and then he
that's
like
right.
runs into some like
I haven't seen that, but I have heard
spider
that.
alien. If you haven't seen that,
Nice.
all right. Transition time.
Game Boy.
Do you need to? That was pretty amazing. Do you need to get another drink, Ryan?
I do.
All right, I knew you did. I already sensed it. So go get your damn drink, boy. Hey, put these on the bar if you can. That way they're out of our way. So we're gonna talk a little. I'm gonna wait till you come back to talk about GB4. So what has happened out in the world is we have been using GB Studio 3.2. We alluded to this at the beginning. If that matters to you, GB Studio 3.2 has a lot of different features that are kind of advanced, allowing us to do some things in the Game Boy world. So Game Boy original, just quick history. Old Game Boy had just a very simple greenish kind of screen, 4 colors that you can put on it. And the original app that we've been using to create our game really catered to that original Game Boy experience. As it developed between Generation 2 and 3, it started to add additional features, expand its set that you can do a little bit more. And I can't remember what version it is, but there's a version that you click a checkbox and says, hey, guess what? You can now develop for Game Boy Color, which we're doing because it gives us a little bit broader ability to do things. We're not as limited, but we're still limited in that Game Boy environment. Step in the next version of where we're at, which is GB Studio 4.0, where they're just going all in and saying, guess what? This is the one that's really going to embrace more of the color side of the house. This is the Game Boy Color version. And so if you know a little bit about how the Game Boy systems work, the Game Boy Color does have some advanced chips in it and ability to do a little bit more than the original Game Boy. So what it's doing, it's taking off the rails and allowing us to have more activity, more things inside the game itself. And so it essentially turns on what I believe is considered a color-only mode, So as we start to build the game that we have right now, if you load it on a card or we load it on a cart and we put that cart out into our Game Boy, original Game Boy, it would still play. So, Ryan, I think you're hitting in the right time. I gave enough of the vamp of the background. But
Great.
So what we're saying is that everything we've done up to this point, as we programmed it on the card, it works on Game Boy Color, but it would work backwards compatible to the original Game Boy.
That's important, I feel like.
But the new thing that's happened now is it will not go back. It will be a color-only mode. So we try to put this in an old Game Boy. If we go up to 4.0 and put it in color-only mode, what it's going to do, it's going to limit it to just being on the color because it's using all of the additional pieces that make it viable for color. So I'm going to put this here if you don't mind there. All right, so here it is. There's the beta release. We're just going to take a quick peek at what it has
neat.
on
This
here.
is like patch notes.
So this is what the beta version is, released 4 days ago. So Chris Maltby is the guy that makes it. And hilariously, this is just like a funny thing to me is that these names of people, at least a few of them, I see them in the GB Studio Discord that I hang out in. And so it's like, I don't necessarily feel like I know the person, but I've chatted or at least had this person in chats that I've been looking at. So it's just like the cool thing about this is it feels like there's a community and we're part of it and we're doing some of the work. So let's look at these things that have been added.
Yeah, I feel like I'm reading through a few of them and being like, they look pretty damn good.
Ability to launch projectiles at a target actor. So meaning that right now you just launch a projectile and it just hits, wherever direction you're shooting. So what we're saying is this would probably
It's like a lock-on?
Like a lock-on is what it sounds like. Angle selector input for degrees. I don't know what this one means, but I know GBVM is Game Boy Virtual Machine. So it looks like there's a few other ones. The magnitude field to shake camera event. So it maybe has how
Is it going to be like
much?
over our head? Are these going to be
No,
over
some
our
of these
head?
make sense. So I'm thinking what it's saying is how much it can shake the camera. There's like
Okay.
probably some settings on there. Checkbox to toggle if a new animation should loop when the set actor animation state. Oh, that's a good one. So what it's saying is like in certain cases you want to trigger an animation once.
Yeah.
And other times you just want it to continue the loop. So
Okay.
like let's say you had something where you touch it
Yeah.
and you want it just to like
thing
run through it
happened.
once,
Yeah.
but then it's done. That's
Right.
actually pretty cool. Search scenes in the world mode. Oh my god, you can search. So if we had a bunch of scenes that might help us get to something a little quicker.
Add event, replace tile at position, and replace tile from sequence to update background tiles.
Where are you seeing that one?
Calling replace tile from sequence repeatedly will cycle through animation frames.
Oh, you're going down.
That one, replace tile.
Yeah, so I think that's so replace the tile out of position, replace tile from a sequence. So I'm not 100% sure, but that's definitely
Replace tile from sequence repeatedly will cycle through animation frames, which is fun. So is that what it's saying? It's like there would be background elements because these are update
Oh,
background
snap.
tiles.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're replacing it from a sequence of them. So there could be like waving trees in the background. Is that am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, this is awesome. Like, I'm just reading through a few of these. I think that one is a big one because what that should do is allow us to do a little bit more in the GUI versus all of that crazy code, and we'll get into
Yeah.
it. Here's the thing, color only mode doubles the amount of tiles available for backgrounds,
Wonderful.
and sprites through the game will no longer run on original. Okay, so if you put it in there, 192 is no longer the limit, is
Right.
what that's saying. It's like almost 400, Ryan.
That's great.
So, I mean, that's if we decide to go in there. If we don't want it to be, 100% backwards
No,
compatible.
I think we absolutely want that.
So let's just see here. I wanted to see this one. Support adding sound effects to a project by dragging files into project window. Okay, so it's just like if you have sound effects, because you can pull sound effects into the game. That was something I was working on at one point.
Okay.
I don't know if they put all the cool ones. Wait. Ability to set fade speed to instant when switching scenes.
Combines this with the use of comment styles.
They have not had the fade. Like, you've had to have fades. That's a big
Huh.
one. What was the other one you saw?
Oh, I was just reading the end of that one. Auto color.
So, I mean, this is huge.
So I assume people who are insanely into this, right, have already made videos that are like explaining each one of these bullet
not
points.
like that. It's not like that. The community is not that big. So I found this video today. Check it out. There's the Roby test ghost beating
Nice.
video, and then right after this other dude comes in and he puts his video like, well, look at mine was at 7:47, and then at 10. We got 4. We got some loves.
There you go.
That was cool, and a laugh.
Nice.
So, but you get to this one, and this guy said he's migrated his game to GB Studio 4, and so he's working on his first menu system. Photos now persist. See, this is what I was trying to figure out. Photos now persist between scene loads and work bidirectionally. I'm trying to figure out what the hell that means. The player can now travel between maps, mostly for fun and test edge cases. So check this out. I watched this video earlier, and let's just see what he does with this game. So this is just a little test.
Huh.
Like he's showing, it's more like a demo of saying like, look at, you could swap all these tiles. You can do all these crazy things.
So it's like a switch. He's like almost switching between. That's what he's trying to say. It's like, oh, it looks like I'm switching between time, right? Like the bridge is old and broken when it's all black and white, and now when it's new and colored, like that's the.
There's something going on, but like, I think it's probably not even really showing the specifics of what's going on. Like, yes, you're 100% right with that. But I also think he's trying to say, like, you can jump into different levels and instantly make it happen. There's some amazingness here that we don't even understand. But you have, like, look how many people gave some of these things. So anyways, I just wanted to say, like, people are super stoked about this as we're starting to go forward.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
We have some opportunities to do some major
How
things.
often do updates like this happen?
Not that often. This one just popped into Twitter X at some point, and everyone was like super stoked, like, holy crap, 4 is out. This is going to be nuts.
And you were saying that you can't really just have a game and keep updating it with the new versions that come out, right?
You can. What it does is it converts some of the things, but in any case.
Yeah, but so like, let's say we start into this one and we're super hard into 4 and we have 3/4 of the game done and then 5 comes out. Can we just like, do we have to just ignore 5 for the most part? Do we have to sort of stay in our thing?
You can stay with
I know
whatever
you
version.
could stay, you could, but
Yeah.
I'm sure 5 will come out and we'll be like, oh my God, it has this thing.
It's been years though to get to 4, from even like 3 to 4. So there were some updates and things that happened up in between there.
Does it seem weird? Weren't you saying we were on like 3.2?
Yes.
So it went from 3.2 to 4?
Yes. I think, because I think now this might be to me, this is a huge version point to where people are going to say, hey, I'm going to focus on just 3.2 because I like all the versions of things and it's only Game Boy. It's still Game Boy compatible all the way back.
Right.
Like now there's a fundamental change that says if you're a super fan of original Game Boy, you're going to probably stick in the one that doesn't allow you to do all the extra stuff.
Right.
But if you're on the other side and you want to do all the amazing things, you're going to work on that one.
It's interesting. Does the color, I thought the color Game Boy only, it has extra stuff in it to allow this type of new functionality or whatever. I thought it was just the colors, but apparently not.
The color,
like I'm saying before, when you would say like, oh, let's say you took a Game Boy game and you plugged it into the Game Boy Color game, then it would be colored, right? Was the Game Boy Color has like more hardware capabilities to do stuff, so then you could use a bunch of things in the background that on top of that? Okay, because I thought it was just about color.
No, so it adds enough that you can program more. It's more powerful.
Yeah.
But it's not so powerful like a Game Boy SP or the Advanced and some of the other ones. It's like It's basically the original Game Boy with just a boost of extra pieces. So the other one would lag up and you had to be very, very limited.
Yeah.
We've been basically doing Game Boy Color anyway, but ours still kind of worked on original Game Boy. But you have a Game Boy Color?
Yeah.
How perfect is this? So
Perfect,
that's where we're
perfect.
headed. And I appreciate Mike as well. Major version change typically indicates breaking changes, especially with interfaces, APIs, etc.
Okay.
And so people are working in the beta version, and some folks, like, I think we have enough of our code in there that some of it may be adaptable. I feel like I have really been a student of learning GB Studio,
Right.
to the point that I know what I'm asking it to do. It's like none of it has been copied or done in that space where I felt like, I took somebody's stuff and I didn't know what the hell it was doing.
All
And
right.
then starting-
So is it in downloadable, ready to go 4.0?
You can download the beta. I didn't do that. And I didn't feel like I wanted to do that yet, live on the show. I just want to
Sure.
call it out that it's out there, because I think there's enough in our current version that might be a good time to talk about, where we're headed. So we talked about the Game Boy single level template outline and how are we going to approach some of that. I think what would be cool is, let me give you where we're at right now.
Okay.
And let's just go from there, if that makes sense. So let's jump into our Game Boy in GB Studio 3.2 right now. So as of last time, I think this was something you saw. I ripped out all the color because I wanted, I did just general color in certain areas, and it looked cheap because it
Right.
wasn't done well.
Sure.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick right now with the original. It is in color mode, but it's still original Game Boy Color. So just got to keep that in mind as we start to look at this. So a couple of the things that I've been working on since we did this, I talked about music, talked about kind of hitting things. And so I think we talked about it a little bit. Ryan on the Discord had put this little dude, but you didn't give me the actual sprite. You gave me just like a PNG, so I had to rip it out of that and make him a sprite, because he has no walk cycle. He has nothing other than just that character.
Yep.
And so I don't know if you have any more of walk cycles, but we can look at that in a second. But I was figuring I could run the game, kind of show you where we're at. And there's a new thing that I added with some free music, and it's going to go into the point of, we'll talk about the music side of this in just a second.
Cool.
But I'm excited for a couple reasons. So let's just do this. Let's put it full screen.
Okay.
And then you and I can take a peek at it.
This is you compiled the game and we're playing.
Compiled and about to play. All right. So first of all, let's listen. Now the music's going to be too loud. Let's just put that on the thing. It is really too loud. And there's no way to adjust the volume. I'm trying to figure out. Now we can do this. I can literally adjust it on the screen here.
Is
But-
that to everyone?
But it's for everyone. But you should still hear us just fine.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say was, on the literal Game Boy, it was too loud, and I need to figure out how to adjust that. And I
Okay.
looked into it. There is no just turn the volume down. You have to program it in every note, the volume. And so when we work with our person, our composer, we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Okay.
But first of all, I thought this was a sweet
Yeah,
thing.
totally.
And it's supposedly free, and the guy that does it, his name is BeatScribe.
Okay.
And he's the first person I talked to. I tried to commission the guy that made this, and I talked to him back and forth, and I'll talk to you about that in a second, but let's look at the game first. So first of all, you got Roby. Now listen.
Nice.
So what we'll do first of all is we got a little guy running around. Now, I just wanted to show you kind of what it would look like to have somebody running around.
Yeah, I love that.
And now, so if I go up to him and I try to talk to him.
Nice.
Now, there is some nuances to it. I haven't put any limiters on it, so he can just
Oh, sure.
walk out of the screen and stuff. But I want to say, if we have our little alien there.
And if he had a drinking animation where occasionally he was just
Hell
taking
yeah.
a drink out of his drink that he was holding or something.
So I thought that was good.
Yeah,
You can
totally.
interact, and
Yeah.
he'll say things. He can have a bazillion pieces of dialogue.
Right.
So we can make that happen. So we have our typical blowing up things. Now, I've got this down pretty good, as you can
Yeah.
see. Okay. So music's pretty loud, right? So first of all, I wanted to show you another thing I made. You come over here, and I hit up.
Oh, nice. You changed it.
You can change the music by
That's pretty
running
good.
around.
Pretty good.
I go here. You can turn it off.
Oh, nice.
So I just thought it was now you can hear this.
Oh, right. His little jump.
Now there's got to be a better way I can improve some of those beep noises. It's not supposed to sound like that.
Huh.
It's supposed to actually just sound like a swipe.
That jump is good.
But see that little buzz that's in there? There's some reason like something's messed up to where I need to take it out of the game. I need to figure that out. But
okay.
It should just sound like a swipe and a jump. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. So what you saw earlier today was me trying to beat this ghost.
Yeah, there we go.
But what I was trying to show in there, if you see it, like it's very brief. So first of all, your bat, put those like little like I don't know what you call those, the
like
air things on it.
lines, yeah.
But notice there's like another little thing that falls out from it. So this is what was really, really hard, and I was trying to talk to somebody in the chat about. So I was being goofy, and I know I was really cringe earlier, but the whole idea was I needed to show them what I was asking and what's happening here. To make that bat hit, I have to actually have a projectile come out of Roby. So think about like a bullet that comes out of a gun. Like I can't just say like, hey, this bat right here has like a hit box on it. So what it does is I had to time it right to where I'm saying like the animation speed is this, and the second that it hits, it like shoots out a little thing.
Does it shoot it out only to like one little space in front of him? Or does it shoot it out across the whole screen?
No, it shoots it out and then it dies right out there. That's what I had to do. But the problem that I was trying to solve is watch when I jump, see how it's like not where the bat's hitting?
Oh yeah, but like whatever, you're falling through the air.
Yeah, and I think that the thing is you just want to like make it fun, and you make it if you don't nail that hit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of my menus. I've been working on the menu.
Okay,
so
cool.
I think I showed you this a little last time where like you go up, but then when you hit the menu, you go right back out, which I thought was cool.
Yep.
So you go here, and we're going to go to the settings menu. So this is where I was testing being able to beat a ghost either which way. So this one, see how it goes out just a little bit further? Actually, they go out about the same amount. So I had to work on that. So it doesn't quite, so you can kind of hit it without.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to dial in where's that projectile like come out.
But that's
and be...
see that's the problem is like look how see like I can kind of hit it and it doesn't actually hit.
Well, you know, I would rather it be easier to hit the ghosts and you get it as opposed to you looking like you hit it and then it just like didn't.
So maybe with the new version we can nail it in. So
Okay.
I guess the whole point was I was working on that. That was one big piece that I wanted to make sure was actually going to be a thing. So you can get back out of that and he's back in the world. Now you'll notice something interesting happen. I don't know if you can see it. See at the bottom of the screen right now how it has like a big white bar. Okay, so I'm gonna go out this door. Ah, shoot, I don't think I have it programmed where it will turn off anymore. So what and let me see if I can turn it off a different way. Oh, I can't. Okay, so you always see these hearts at the bottom right now. So I've been actually, before there was hearts at the bottom, and the hearts at the bottom were an actor sitting on top of the screen. This is my first attempt at using tile swapping to make those hearts. So that's like that whole thing at the bottom is, and this is, you have to technically understand what's going on, has it's an overlay. It's not actually an actor that's sitting on there. There's some advanced code that's going behind the scenes to actually make that work. So anyways, I have not done a copious amount other than be able to put the guy in there, do a lot of this work with this music, which I thought was kind of cool. Or I'll put it on this other one because that one's fun.
No, I feel like it looks great.
So what I'm going to do is let me, I think the music changes it, right? Doesn't it give it a vibe?
I don't know if it's changing dynamically, but like that part of the song then like lined up.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying that the song in general and sound
okay.
effects, because if you just play it with nothing,
Yeah.
sound makes a difference in a game is what I guess I'm getting at. And it's cool that we're getting to a point where sound comes in, but I wanted to show you this last part. So you hear this music, let's put it on this music right here, which I thought was cool, like a little sci-fi vibe on it. All right, watch what happens when I go out the door. You ready?
Okay. Ah, the little, yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
Nice. You did it.
Yeah.
Great. Oh,
So,
man, that's great.
I figured like we had not been doing a lot with sound lately, so I was
Yeah.
like, I need to do a full episode.
yeah.
As much as you would think, like you didn't do crap since last episode, I spent hours like figuring out how to like integrate sound a little bit. Little ghost being a little.
I know, he's like,
Oh,
he
he didn't even have
disappeared.
he didn't even have a cycle to go on it. So, and then it goes back and it kicks
Nice.
off to that. So, I just wanted to show you that.
Yeah, that was great. Great job.
Thank you. And what's interesting is if I go into the music, I just feel like I need to show you that side of it. So this is me looking at the music because I tried to make my own music and I was like, okay, this is going to not work. It's actually going to be really hard and I need to hire somebody to make that happen. So I went down in here. So this is what makes that sound. Well, there's different versions of it.
And no one's just like translated each one of those little box notes to like a piano?
No, they
something?
absolutely. People don't do it in here. I
Yeah.
heard people were saying like this sucks to do it in here.
Yeah, that's
And
kinda
so
figured.
I think people are using some other tool to build it, and I think that's what this like a composer might do.
And then you would just like paste it in here?
No, like they have things
Like
that
it
call
export
it's
it?
called a UGE file. Yeah, this is the one I thought it was kind of interesting to see. Like I don't even know where those other notes are coming from, because it like hits these notes and then it.
Yeah, and how does
Oh.
it go? How does it go? Wow, like I thought it was supposed
See
to
down
be a-
here, these like little ones, and there's something that changes the tones down here, and then it holds the tone.
Okay.
I mean,
It's
literally,
like a wah. It's like a wah.
it's like wah bar down at the very, very bottom. You see what I'm like pointing to down
the,
here?
The twos and the ones.
And then it holds the note for a certain amount of time, and it just kind of
Yeah.
adjusts it.
Okay.
So this is where I was like, each one of these notes, you have to like pull this like volume down, from what I understand.
Oh, man, what?
Yeah, I know. I don't understand
So that's why
it.
people don't do
100%.
it in this, right?
I'm not sure, to be honest with
Yeah.
you, how it all works. But if I knew music, that I would.
Right.
It sounds beautiful though.
It does. Yeah, I just imagine somebody working in something that's like easier to use and then exporting it to this, but maybe it's not like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this would all go. Well, and I think they do, so I'm going to continue without saving. I don't know what I made on that. So that's what I got.
Nice.
I
Looks great.
I would say if as you start to look at sprites, and one of the things I was talking to you a little bit earlier, like your alien, I just threw him on a sprite sheet. There's nothing there, and I just basically put him standing in there. And so this answers that question, like, see how he's in this box right here?
Mm-hmm.
So I currently have it on a platform player. So if you wanted him to like have a jump cycle or something like that, let's see here. How would I do that? So what I'm doing in this map, and I think I've shown you this a couple times, but we'll just do it one more time, is once I get the sprite sheet, I have to go to each of these animation states. And so let's say like it's jump, and a jump cycle would be like, you know, our guy is he's jumping in a circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like spinning around. So I don't know if I could really do anything. So, but maybe the state is actually I'm gonna do it on this one. So if I took these two bottom tiles and like jammed them up in his head, which is probably not the best, but let's see here. I don't think I can order it either. Let me try this. I'm gonna delete these two. See if I can like on top. Looks like you can. So maybe that's his jump. I don't know why. That's a terrible jump, but whatever. Let me delete the frame. You know what I just realized is like I don't know how to make him jump because he's a programmed AI. So he's just gonna be
walking around, not jumping.
So that even though I
fine.
did that, it's not gonna work. But I did want to show you like what I did to make his AI. So that is the next thing we also have to work on is like how do you make an AI in this game?
Yeah.
So I went and I created the guy. And then I put a script in there called this on update script. So my first version of like how AI would work is I call it an AI patrol around.
Okay.
And I essentially like set a variable and I just call it just a random one from the thing. And I said, hey, set it to a random value between 1 and 12.
What other ones besides patrol around are there?
No, I literally made that name up
okay.
myself.
Oh, I see.
So like that's the name of this thing. And so then you can add all these things that are inside of it. So the way that this AI I built was random number 1 through 12. And then I put this statement that says, all right, give me 12 options. And then I programmed every option. I said, hey, if it happens to land on 1, have him move no tiles. If it lands on 2, no tiles. And 3 on and on. Because I wanted him to pause at certain points.
Right, that makes sense.
And then I think I got it up to like, it was 9. I'm like, if he goes 9, he should walk 6 tiles on the x-axis. Axis. Did I say it right? Axis. Yeah. And then 12 tiles or negative 12 tiles and kind of back. So he created this a way that he's walking around, sometimes stopping and walking. Because when I first did it, he was like running around and being all crazy and everything. So now what you would do is you would have him being like, if it hits win statement 2, that's you like kick off the drink cycle.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then you can say, don't do anything for 20 seconds.
Oh, right. He just stands there drinking.
Yeah. Or and in this case, he's patrol around. We can have another one where we're like, you should just like walk up to this, go turn, do a thing, turn back and walk back to another place.
Right. Yeah. Like,
So
like pull a beer out of the thing and walk over and put it on the bar
instead of the bar. So we could put a bunch of timers, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
And then, so that's more of a scripted AI.
Yeah.
This was more of a autonomous AI for he's just doing some rando stuff. So I was like, if you had a guy walking around the bar, or we wanted some like little like roach running around or a rat or something, like you can make that a patrol. And that's what our ghost is he's just floating around everywhere on the level.
Yeah.
So anyways, I thought that was
Nice.
just to give you an idea of how the AIs are coming.
Yeah, that's great because we haven't really talked about enemy and or NPCs in that sense. So great.
And then the only other thing just to say is that I created an on interact function so that when you step over him, if you hit it, he will say something to you.
Are we still are we gonna do interact? I feel like we have to do interactions on a button.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it is now?
I mean, you can just have. I mean, if you walk into him, the dialogue can trigger.
Yeah.
But in this particular case, I wanted to like. It sucks because if you walk by him and you're trying to run by him, you trigger the dialogue. So you really want him to interact. But here was the thing is, I just wanted to make sure you understood this, is that right now I have one interaction programmed. But what we would do is we'd say, and what was our alien's name? What are we going to call him?
AB.
AB. Abe, right? Ab?
It's
AB.
like it's AB.
But what does that mean?
The alien biologist.
I like that. So our alien biologist, here's what I would say is that just imagine this. He has variable 1 right now. Mm-hmm. And every time, and because we set variable 1 on AB. So throughout the entire game, no matter where he shows up or where we put him, he has variable 1 set to him. And when he does that, we always say, hey, if he's variable 1, the only thing he can say is, hi, Roby, let's play a game.
Oh, sure.
Now we go off in the room and we like click something off or push something else off and he's like, hey, go find the game to play. And once we find the game, when we touch it and we pick it up, it'll say, hey, go turn AB to variable 2.
Right.
And then variable 2 is like, oh, you found the game. Cool. Yeah. Let's start to play.
Right.
So you can have like a shite ton of different dialogues in there.
Right.
And so I just wanted to make sure that as you start to think about this moving forward, that's how we can start the interactions.
Yeah. And do those count against kind of your like, what does that count against? Nothing.
No,
Because it's
that's gonna be
characters,
huge.
right?
Yeah, but we're also gonna get a whole bunch of
We're gonna
extras
get new
there.
stuff anyway.
So I mean, I think we're well within our ability to do an amazing game with what we have right now.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like just the idea that it could you can use double the amount of pixels is.
I mean, I want to test it, and like I don't want to blow it up so much that we're like, I think we should keep within a certain limit set. But let's do some testing. There were some challenges that I did find that I wanted to like talk to you about. That with your design side.
Yeah. Can you so here's the deal. You know, Adam and I are busy. It's a busy time of year. I'm selling this house and doing these things. But what I would love to do is like when I sit down and I have an hour to play or to work on this, you know, an hour here, an hour there. I feel like I'm building sprites because that's just like what I, you know, in the wheelhouse of things that I can do, right? But what I would love to do is also start laying out levels. And I feel like, I don't know, you know, we have an hour left.
Yeah.
I feel like if you could show me a little bit or like create for me a blank level that has an interactive Roby that can run around inside of the level, but then allow me to sort of just have one that just is simple and only has that, so that I can practice and make a level inside of the thing with trigger points and things, so that I can like try.
Absolutely.
Some of that.
I think we should do that. And so what I want to make sure that you know, we're going to do that next.
Cool.
I want to show you one graphical thing that we want to. Yeah, it's funny. We'll turn off this music in a second. Yeah, I want to turn off I was thinking we could make a menu where you can toggle different tunes and stuff, but
settings.
Right now I just figured it was cool to like you have to do it at the jukebox. But this is what I'm gonna show you. So if you're in this room or in certain rooms, so it's like you look like you're on the thing there. Now if we really want him to interact with things, now watch this.
Oh, right.
So you're going to have to be super cognizant, and I'm going to go into the level so we can see what's going on right there. Is that, and I bet you I might be able to fix that. Let's see here. I guess I could fix that, and you did do a good job. I think it's more of my fault.
Just kidding.
Ryan. No, so what happens is, and this actually goes into what your questioning is as I start to put things in here, so if I put it there, is that where you would want him to run versus here?
Oh, right. Yeah, like you would want it in the middle, right? But if you can't have that, if it's
but it has
not
to,
on the eights.
So your ledges have to be kind of like when you design, they have to be at the very top of the boxes or at the bottom of the boxes.
Yeah, everything that he's standing on has to be at the top of the tile, the 8x8 tile, basically.
So
okay,
I will. Oops. Forgot. Don't click that button. Get you, Abe. Turn that off. All right, let's just check it out.
Fun. It is different with the music. Yeah. See, I mean,
so because you would want it almost to be like just that line, this green line above it, right?
Yeah. Well, then you would have to make the stack at the bottom thicker. Right, like you'd have to make the frame at the bottom thicker,
right?
But then that steals from the height of the picture above it, right? So you're gonna lose like your little bottom. All of that's gonna have to be
So I'm just making you cognizant of it,
no, but
just
like,
so you can think about that.
But I wasn't saying it in like a see Adam, so that's why I'm not gonna do it. Like it wasn't like that.
No, I hear what you're saying.
It's more like I guess how specific do we want the thing? Because I do like the idea of him jumping around all over in the background.
Yeah.
Right. Like I feel like that is fun. Like I love that idea. So I feel like there's going to be lots of areas that they're going to be able to jump on that maybe aren't exactly like perfect edges or bottoms of things.
Well, look at this one. Here's another one.
Right.
So it's good because you got it to the top there,
Yeah.
but then he's kind of floating.
So it's almost like the top of it should be the top, and then the piece with the little hook should be its own
Like above it.
above it. That would be like the thing above it. Okay.
So, I mean,
Totally.
these are just little, because I've been playing the crap out of it enough to see, like, what are the little nuances?
Totally.
Like, these lights are super fun. And I was like, there's such, like, a thing where, what was I doing? So I got the dash. So if you do it right, where you dash, you could, let's see if I can do it. Like, you can, well, this one might not be a good one, but you can, like, jump between the lights. So let's say
Nice.
there was something way over to the right-hand side of the screen. You'd be
Yeah.
like, I have to jump on here. Oh, I must not put anything on that door. I guess I didn't. But you can, let's see if I can jump him up here. Some of those you can't get to, but if you get to the right, like, mode,
yeah.
you can jump over
Right,
to
and
it.
then you're like, yes, now I can grab it. Right.
And now you
Like,
can get to this thing, or you can get
Yeah,
up to
yeah.
this next level. So, like, as long as you, like, that was what I was doing. I was like, you can jump up here and, like, do the little dash and, like, get up to the lights and, like, stay up in places.
Yeah, because like say you went back, right? Like you know that is your hard jump, right? Is that one where you have to hit that, and so that's what you have to do to be able to get the note on the corner of the back of the picture or whatever.
100%. And then so you have to find, like, where's the one hard jump, and then there's a
Yeah.
bunch of series of, like, little jumps, and you're like, damn it, I couldn't get, like, across all the lights. Let me start over again and do
Right.
that next stuff.
And this is where I feel it's going to be really important to know, like, how many tiles is in between? How many tiles is a hard jump versus an easy jump?
Well, and you
right?
just need to play with it. That's
Yeah.
what you're. So here's the other one, like this Game Boy right here. To get this Game Boy, you're like, how do I get up on this thing?
Yeah.
And so you're like, you jump over to here, and you can. And right now, that one jump is like, you jump on the table, you jump here, jump here. You have to jump on the windowsill,
Right,
And
and
then
then
you can
over.
jump on
Yeah.
this.
And that's sort of what I was thinking for the original room.
Yeah.
That it would be simple like that, right? You're like, oh, I'm just sort of jumping up and going over here, and you're kind of learning that, like, yes, you have a double jump, you have, or not a double jump, a dash, and you have, you know, there's going to be puzzles where you need to be able to traverse around the background and interact with things and be able to, like, solve puzzles that way.
Absolutely.
Which I think is great. I think, like, we've basically almost gotten there with this. Now it's sort of, but now it's like everything is sort of in a test zone still. We need like one set of levels where you go, yeah, I can play through it and hear a little story and do the stuff. And
Yeah. Well,
have
we
it
have the
as a
story
thing.
and everything's.
door unlocked. Yeah, nice. That's a classic.
Oh,
you
yeah.
did a good thing.
So now that we've got that, what
Yeah.
I'm hearing what you need is, how do you get in here? So let's be honest, Ryan. How much have you done in GB Studio in the editor at all?
I've replaced things in there. I've tried to, like, go in and make a new scene and put a PNG in the background, like, because I wanted to be able to see how big it was or if it rejected it or not. And then trying to tie it to different things and then playing a little bit of that. And that's basically it.
So I'm going to show you right now. Is this a good time to show you
Yeah.
or not? Okay. This is how I would imagine you would do this moving forward. So I got to open A-Sprite to do it. But before we get into this, did you have any, like, other video game, like, cool things
We
to
have
show
D
off?
if you want to show D,
Yeah,
or
you
you want to
should
show
that.
the drinking animation.
Oh,
or
yeah.
things
Hell
like
yeah. I
that.
want to show that. Like, do you have the drinking animation here, or
It's in the A-Sprite.
it's all in
folder.
A-Sprite?
Yeah.
And I'm opening A-Sprite right now.
Perfect.
So what I want to show you is how you should play within the game as much as I would think you could.
Yeah.
I think you probably have some better skills at, like, doing how you're going to do this next step, but this is what I would imagine you do. But before we do that, I want to look at your stuff because I got to show and tell. It's your turn to show and tell your stuff. So where are we at here?
Video game.
Yeah, there it is with the underscore.
Yeah. A-Sprite.
So I love this one.
Oh, wait. Well, which one do you want to do? Drinking or D?
Do D and then drinking. Does D have a...
And you could see the iteration of the of how the alien AB came about. I was making him like this, and I was like, he looks too young, and he looks too much like Roby in this sense. And then so I was like, okay, you got to make his hair white, and that'll make him seem older. And then I was like, oh, he always has the bag across his shoulder, which I feel like is such like a old, biologist, archaeologist.
Man bag.
Type of
Gotta
thing.
get the man bag.
Exactly. And that was in the original. And then here was Dee, and Dee was always our pregnant bartender. And she was the the girlfriend of Roby in the original. I feel like she's more the love interest she's the person who's grounded in what the reality of Roby was before all this happened, and so can like bring back those types of things and talk about that and have feelings and emotions around that. And then also kind of the person who's being like, oh, hey, you shouldn't die and you should keep going and we should try to save this and do that, and sort of be the love interest. I like the idea of her being a pregnant bartender that doesn't drink, right? Like everybody else is going to be drinking and doing stuff, and she won't be, which is I feel like a good change.
We could always have her like get have the baby at the end too.
And right at the very end of the thing, she also her water breaks. Love it.
and it's the AB's
alien, and it's the alien baby, and it's super fucked up.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. So then, what was the other one we needed?
Wait, is there an animation on this or
no? Okay. Roby character, swing bat,
drink.
Yeah, where is that?
He didn't have the drink. We have it in the Discord if he needs to.
Yeah,
see bottle. It would actually be really nice.
Roby
to have
Chug.
It. Okay. Yeah, you got to give me this one.
Okay.
What do we got over there?
This was me bringing in the original drawing of the alien, and I was like, wow, that looks really terrible.
It actually kind of looks cool.
It's very weird. Way. It's very.
I like it.
Yeah. It doesn't. He doesn't look like. Like, they don't even look like they go together in the same.
Yeah, but that might be good from an alien. Okay, let's see the chug.
Okay.
I like this. I like that you're using the animation feature on this too.
Yeah.
That's
so
sweet.
It's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 frames?
You would,
like, here's it a little bit slower.
I like it.
Like the psh, and then head back.
I was thinking like, should he like drink it and then like chuck it or
yeah,
like...
that's what I was like people like they'll do it and then they'll just like throw it behind them or whatever.
It would be so. Just because I don't want to feel like we ripped off somebody, so A. Martinez, he has like a drink in his game or whatever. He's the guy that we did the switching with, and his guy's like a big old guy drinks it and like chucks it. Like it would almost be cool if he like drank it and like put it on the ground or
I'd like set it on the ground next to him.
And then it'd have to disappear though.
Yeah, that's
no. I like it just as is. It's sweet because you see. Wait, slow that down. His eyes go down. Look at it. That's sweet.
Yeah.
All right. I definitely need this. I have this on the computer.
You have this.
So I'm going to integrate a drink. And so what does that do? Give him more health?
I think it gets you your health back, right?
So we're not going to use hearts anymore, right? He needs like beer bottles or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, hearts is classic. Like, it could have beer bottles that he collects and that gives him health back, like on the other side maybe or something, and you would burn them, or I don't know.
I'll have to figure out. Maybe when you drink enough, because I got to figure out are we going to...
Suds as your life.
Oh, I do like that. Like a little bubble.
Yeah.
That's actually a great idea.
Bubble makes me think though that he has air left in his water level.
That's right. Yeah. How do you represent Suds in a retro?
I don't know. It would look like gravel.
Oh, you know what would be sweet is that your health is just like a beer mug, and then like
you lose your
beer.
And
so as you drink it,
it's like comes back up. I can see that.
And then when you're doing your special, the Suds are coming out of the top.
Nice.
That's the way to do it.
Anyway, that's what I worked on. That's what I
love
time
it.
to do.
I mean, you do what you got to do. That's what this thing is. We're doing this all free. So, all right. here's my suggestion on how you might approach doing some of this. So if I go in, let's go to the desktop, go into the game. So inside of the game itself, I keep in the assets folder is the backgrounds folder is the one that GB Studio like forces you to use.
Okay.
And I mean, you have to use it because I don't know
That's where it's looking.
Yeah, oh, I see what it's doing. Yeah, so that's where it's looking. But what I did just for myself, and this is what I've done iteratively with the game, is I just created an A-Sprite folder off like with the same front part and this other end part, so that I was like, here's all my A-Sprite files that I might need, and then I just save them out, and so everything's like saved out in this side of the level.
Nice.
So what I'm going to suggest is we go into the A-Sprite folder, and I'm going to just find, I think I have maybe a placeholder one. Let's see if I do. It really doesn't matter which one I use because we're going to just kill it anyway. We'll just use the tavern one. I feel like that's like, which one did you do as the tavern? We'll just use this version of the tavern. So this is an old version of the tavern. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to instantly go File, Save As, and I'm going to call this one just Demo. I'm just going to leave it literally as the word Demo. I'm going to save it. And now the question is, and this is where I think you what you're saying is you want to go in here and create a world where he's jumping around, right?
Yeah,
but blank.
But blank or just like I want it to be the floor tile, because the floor tiles are always going to be the same and go up to the same area.
Let me do this then. I'm going to open
and then like a blank background, and I just want to put like solid brick everywhere for where jumps are.
I'm going to use this version of it then. Oh, I don't have your full version that just has the floor. Damn it. Do you have this as like a bunch of layers?
Yep.
Because I would definitely need that. Notice I had to actually adjust it so that it was under the tiles, and I had to do it was like one tile over because I was doing some things here to like make it walk around. I think if you and I if you can get these most updated versions and we have them really locked down to the size and you put them in Google, then I can grab them from there and I can integrate them in the game. If you're like, yeah, this one's pretty much final. What that would allow me to do, because I package every version of the game up with the latest version of the A-Sprite file and the latest version that we have in the game. Yeah. So I guess I just need an easier way than every 2 weeks just getting it on a folder.
Yeah, like, and I feel like for a while the final version will be the skeleton version, right? Because you want to dial in what the skeleton version looks like before you even start filling it up with little objects.
So here, you're 100% right. So here, what we're going to do is I'm going to turn off all of the layers on this. And I'm pretty sure it should just leave the floor. Why does it have lights? Oh, it's because there's a bunch of stuff up top. Okay. So you could use barrels as your marker. So there we go. Yeah. This is what you're asking for. So I'm going to just say in our demo, if I save it, the first thing I'm going to do is, and I'm going to show you this. If you do an export as and you hit this, you can then say, hey, don't save my exports in the backgrounds at A-Sprite. Save it over here in this backgrounds folder. So if you do that, what's nice about it is it saves that. So every time you open it up, it will know which one to save it to. Oh, right. As long as you don't like move the file and do a lot of that. So then let's see here. File format PNG doesn't support layers. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Fine. Save it without a layer. That's exactly what I want you to do. So right now we have the base level, and this is where it gets important. As long as you don't change the width or height of that going forward, you've locked in the ability to create a scene. So if I come over on our scenes over here, I'm going to go to the very bottom of our level. I'm going to add a scene. I'm going to pop it right there. Now, it just takes the very first scene that's in the thing, and I have to come over here and pick which scene it is. And do I have one called Demo in there? And there it is, Demo. Boom. So we got the scene in there. Okay. So that's the very first step of this. Now, what I'll do is I'll recreate this for you. I'm gonna do a little bit on stream right now, but what I'll probably do is like take everything else out of the entire thing, and you're gonna just like load it up, and it's gonna be just this one scene.
Yeah.
Because then you won't have to mess with any of the other stuff. Then you can play with it. So what we would need to do then next is, how do you get Roby into the scene? So if I put this little character or this little play button, and I'm just going to drop it over in this scene. That little play button is indicative of Roby.
Roby start.
That's where we should start. Now here's the problem. We just created a scene. Come over here. I have to change the type to platformer so it knows there's a floor. Otherwise it feels like it's Zelda mode. And I've already set it to where the default sprite is Roby. So that's number one. So if I were to play this right now, so I'll give it a second, I'm just going to show you what you get.
You fall to the very bottom of this screen, right?
There is no, it keeps all of the edges. The edges actually contain your actor.
Okay.
So you can't fall through the bottom and you can't jump out of it. And
oh, right. Yeah. But at the very bottom. Yeah.
But the problem is you just have Roby, and if you have him jump, this is all you get.
Right.
Because I didn't program all his like other stuff to make Roby like cool and do all the Roby stuff. So now we have a scene and we have Roby in it. So you might start seeing like every time I have a new scene, I have to do all this other work to get Roby in there.
Seems ridiculous.
But here's what I made some simple things for me. And if I come over here, I created a whole like script to say, here's all the things I need you to do to set up the scene. And in that scene, I'm like, call the player script, open the inventory, save game, do all these things. So I'll copy this event. I'll come back down here. And to be able to paste something, I actually have to put in a comment. So there's even this thing to be able to go, because it doesn't allow you to paste in there unless there's another thing to paste it in. You have to have this little arrow. So paste event. I can't see after that. Where does it say after? Doesn't really matter. Paste event. I'll just drop it in there. So now that I pasted that, what this is doing is it's actually calling these scripts that I have over to this right hand side. Not that you necessarily need to know, but the scripts are like in depth. Like, this is all the stuff that makes Roby and the bat swing. Here's how you set up the health if you have a health bar, and all these other little pieces and parts. So now we put a scene in there. We put Roby in there.
Yeah.
Now, you don't necessarily need to know that code stuff, but I just wanted you to be aware that it does take effort to get like a guy in there, like a Roby. So now you got Roby in there, and you got him jumping.
Okay, he runs.
And he's got his like swinging now.
Nice.
So you've basically got what you needed to get this scene set up, right?
Yeah.
So see, that's one thing that sucks. See how when you're running, like that, it doesn't go in front of you. It's like right behind you. But if you stop, it goes. So if you're trying to hit something in the air as you're running,
it's like it has to be like inside of you to hit.
So what the people were saying online, by the way, today is that they like when they have a swing, they lock the character in position until the swing's done. So like you couldn't run and swing. Like you would run and then you would have to stop and
which kind of makes sense for how you would,
right.
Maybe have to actually have the physics of running and swinging, right?
Like, we might consider that.
That's a consideration.
So here's what I'm proposing.
So like, let me ask one question before, even just on that subject. Like, say you wanted to do that. Say we were like, we really feel like it is to do that. Is that going back through and reprogramming every single Roby for every single scene of the entire game?
No, because I've thankfully decided to build it into the script. And so what I'm doing over here is in the scene, I'm just saying call the player setup script. So I only have one place that I ever have to do any of the setup, and it's all over here as a script.
Okay.
So I have it saved as kind of like an instance or a variable.
Great.
And so anytime I'm like, I want Roby and do all the cool Roby stuff, go call the script over here, and now it does all the Roby stuff. Okay. So
cool.
I've tried to optimize this. Like before, you're 100%. I built it in every scene, and it was a pain in the ass, and you had to change it in every scene. And I'm like, I know how to do this a little different. So the next step, this is why I'm going to tell you it's like a pain in the ass, is that you have to build some floor in here. So now...
No, I feel like this is the part that I care about.
No, well, you do care about it, but my point is that if you spend the time to build all of the floor in here, even if it was like this part of it, you're like, I need to build a floor that goes all the way across this. This is where it's going to take you a lot of time because you're going to build it. And let's say you said, oh, I need this scene to be, 8 pixels wider. If you do that and you reload up GB Studio, it's going to delete all of the stuff that's in there. As long as this scene never changes the dimensions, it's just fine.
Is there no copy from the scene above me all of the stuff and paste it into this scene?
If there is, I'm going to really throw myself into a big vat of acid because I have not found it, and that would have saved me hours and hours and hours. At least I watched Dune 4 or 5 times while doing this. Okay, so I did that rough and dirty. But what I wanted to show you is, okay, we got a floor. It's about at the level that we want. Doesn't matter that I screwed it up below there. But now you got your first level of your floor down. So if this runs, and it's going to come over on this side.
Here's how I'm thinking about doing it, right? Let's say you had a large room, a medium room, and a small room. And they were all set up with the floor. And the floor had nice. And you could jump below.
So you can't. So now I'm just saying red is you can't go any further down. So this is where I'm saying it's a pain in the ass to do this every single time. So the next thing is I go to this blue type, and this is where I'm saying okay, I want to put I can't remember if I put where I put it, if it was 1 or 2 up.
I'll look it up here.
Oh yeah, you're right. I did just do it 1 up. So then this is another version which says you can jump down through it, but not up through it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I meant you can. The red is just blank. You can't do anything with red. It's
the floor. It's like a solid object that you can't go below.
And there's this weird error that I've been finding where I have to put red on the left-hand side of our menu because there's some times where I forced Roby outside of the screen and it just crashes. That doesn't crash, but he's not in there and you can't get him back in the scene. And you're if that happens in gameplay, you are so screwed because you can't get him back and you're done.
Turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah, it's and if you had a save or something. So now we've basically got the floor set up, and I think you're starting to get the point, at least of this point. So the coup de grace is going to be this next step in Sprite, but I'm going to reload this because now we have the floor set up with all the dimensions, so to speak.
Yeah.
So there he is. So now if you push down, he will jump. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Jump up, down.
Yeah.
Up,
cool.
down. So you can go that. You can do the little down thing. It makes it feel kind of it's exactly what you needed, right? So here's what I'm imagining you do. Imagine I deliver this to you exactly like this. All you would ever need to do, and I'm going to just save this version, is you open this back up.
Yep. And
maybe even you use that platform or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's just do it even more simple. I'm going to use this
as
pen.
an 8x8 square.
Not 89.
Not 89.
But 8. And then I think you would just go in and be like, well, I think it would be sweet. And is there a snap in here?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's got to be, right?
I feel like there's a snap to grid. Nope. That felt like it should have been.
It felt like it was kind of.
Oh, you have to be.
It's just kind of.
Yeah. So let's say you start going in there. Oh man. Hold on a second. I don't want to put it on the back. I want to put it on
as a new layer.
Yeah. Because I think you get it. Where I'm going with this is that you go and start just putting this in there in the different areas that you'd want it to go. Let's say it's that one. Let's see if we can make a little world here. That might be, I don't know if that's enough or not. And then you can count the squares and you're like, okay, is that fun or is it not fun?
Right. And I feel like it'll be tiles, right? Because you'll be like, what is hard to get through with a double, with a dash, and what's easy?
Okay. I think that's enough. That's just a quick example. So you just chuck that on there. Now if you do file, export, I think you just have to hit export as an export, and it's going to chuck it right back into that area. I'm going to say don't show again. I don't care about that. So now that's it. You can keep GB Studio opened and there's your tiles.
Nice.
So then you just like, okay, what do I want to paint on there? What kind of tiles do I want? So I'm going to use those blue ones. And this is where it starts to be a little arduous if you're going to be putting those in there all the time. So you should have, I think this is what you wanted, right?
Yep.
Okay. As long as you don't change the size or the width or height of this, it's going to save it every time you update it into that interface. And so now you should be able to run around.
Yeah, perfect. And I think what you would want, right, is you would want just a level like this that is fun to play with nothing.
Yeah.
Like collecting the thing, and maybe the character is walking around because that's a person you need to talk to.
Yeah.
So you would have to add that stuff. But like what I could imagine is looking like this, right? And you'd be like, this is super fun. Now, what background goes with this so that it would make some kind of sense of what is happening? And you'd be like, oh, right, this is the table is here. And then there's like this extra thing. And then there's a light that's right here. But then the other lights are like spaced out further. So you can't get to this area.
Yep.
I feel like that would be good. And part of me thinks too, you know, basically every interaction that we're going to have in this demo will have to be, you know, rendered somewhat in this to try it out, right? So when you collect the orange block, it now allows you to talk to AB again, right? And then at some point you would go, yes, it's fun to get the orange block and move it over here and do all the stuff, and then you'd be like, great, what is the orange block that we're getting?
So this is where I agree with that, and I think we can like. That stuff starts to get like, I would not want to program too much more into this version of the world. And what I'm trying to figure out is how, like, when I copied and pasted what I did, let's say you built this in a completely different GB Studio file than I did. So now you have 2 GB Studio files and you're like, I nailed it. I got the jumps down and here's all these interactions. You can't bring 2 GB Studio files up at the same time and say, copy the actions from this one to this one. Like we would have to like take this whole thing, recreate it into the project and do a lot of work. We might have to start getting to a point of like checking out the file and say, okay, because I would rather we would say,
yeah, that's
like,
true.
I would give you the file with all the stuff in it. And I'd be like, just don't touch any of the other stuff right now. I'll create like your 3 or 4 versions of what you want to do. You just keep saving, playing, doing this stuff. And you're like, I think I got it.
I think at this experimental stage, you would not care, right? Like it doesn't matter.
I don't know. I feel like this is our game up at the top. I've spent that much effort to get this thing running.
But like my side of it, with just the little pieces of it, you know,
right?
Like you're running around and you're doing it. And I think you would want, like, to me, this is the tweaking and this is the nuance of like, how does the jump, and is that fun? And is that, because then when you have that, I don't know if transferring it back over to the main one is like that big a deal. Like you would be like, okay, now I have to create a whole background. And then you're like, okay, now I will put that new background into the main.
But what you do is, let's say the new background's ready to print and you've got all these in the right places. You just put it in there and all those platforms and everything are in the exact right places.
I know, but they wouldn't be in the main one because they would be in the exact right places in my test one.
Right. But in the main one, it would be too. Like, think about this. Let's say you developed these things and you said, oh yeah, these are just a bunch of barrels stacked on each other. When you create the one that should go, it's going to be the same size of scene and everything, right?
Totally.
So you just like update the scene and all of the like.
But it's going to be on my test side, right? And you're not going to be able to use it in the main game if we're doing all of that.
Right. So I'm saying like maybe I just give you a version of the main game and you're like, I'm going to be doing a crap load of testing on this and I'm going to build it all in this version of it. And I'm like, cool. Well, I'm not going to touch that version and I'll work on like figuring out how the music works and I'll port what I'm doing into the game. I think we got to, I'm just saying like it is a pain in the ass to spend time like putting these blocks on there.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, cause then here's another element to it. If you put interactions on here, like I code every interaction. So this one, for instance, you put that in there. Here's all the variables that make the jukebox turn on, and then if that variable hits that, you got to go over
Yeah,
here.
oh totally. Well, like the events and all of that stuff, like a whole nother layer of
Yeah, that's like, so every door in here, every like little interaction, like all the dialogue pieces, there's a lot of layers that start
it sucks
to
that you
happen.
can't just like be copying and because are those your script, are those scripted?
You can
too?
copy and paste this, but I can't copy and paste it between two projects.
Yeah.
I can copy and paste it
that's-
inside of the world.
And I think we're talking about the exact same thing, but I do think that that'll be. It's like you have to experiment enough though to make it good and fun before you start like a more rigid checkout system of doing things, right? Like
Well,
I feel like you just got to play with it and be like, what is fun and what is interesting, and not think about like I need to check it out between like today and tomorrow afternoon, because then Adam's gonna need to work on it after tomorrow afternoon.
No, I understand. Like right now, in the next like month or so, you have your own little version of it.
Yeah.
You start playing with it.
And I think we could. I think we could get it into a space where you'd be like, hey, it's just these 10 little blocks that you're jumping around on, but you're finding it and getting it over here and talking to this person and stuff. Like I feel like it can be pretty easy to transfer in between. And just beating the crap out of him.
Come on, boy.
He's like, he has no reaction. He's like
He's invincible. See?
No reaction.
His little AI.
Yep. He's just sliding around.
I think this was good.
Yeah.
I don't know if this
That's
like
great.
got
This
you
is,
to a
can
point.
can I just have this file or something, or how
Is that
does
what you need? Yeah. Maybe this, that might be a great way to do it. What do we want to call this scene?
like test tavern, I guess, right? Like, or this scene right here
Yep.
inside of it. Yeah.
I'm just gonna call it demo.
Okay.
Demo.
Tavern. Demo.
Demo.
Because it's the tavern level, right? It's not the entrance way.
So you're gonna recreate this tavern again?
Not really. I probably do the entrance way, because I feel like the
Okay.
entrance way is like its own. It was built as its own self-contained.
Gotcha. Now, do you see what I meant before? Before the show, we talked about different sizes. Like, so what if I said, "Here's the museum," or like small, medium, large, extra large, and so you had like 10 of these different scenes in here, all blank,
Yeah.
and they're all the different sizes. So that way you can like pre-populate every single one of them. And that was why I was trying to like say, okay, once you get it in there, this is a blank scene right now, right?
I know. It's just the idea that you would be able to choose what those scenes are in advance before you start playing a game and
I see
making
what
it
you're
and
saying.
doing it
I
is
see what you're
like
saying.
is like maybe the museum is this extra small because it's
Right.
interesting and we want to turn off all the lights in it at one point and turn them back on. Like the idea, like you can't. Adam is the type. Adam once told me that
ADHD.
he got a solo flex or something like that. What is like a bow flex or whatever? Like, and he was like, I planned out an entire year of exercises that I was gonna do on this bow flex, and then 2 weeks later you're not like using the bow flex or doing anything or jack shit on it, right? But like, I feel like Adam wants to like plan and do everything and have it like all set up, and then you'd be like, and now go. And you're like, it can't be like that.
I agree
It
with
has
you.
to be more experimental than that, or it's too rigid, especially at the beginning.
What I'm saying is, there's a lot of variables that contain, and
Sure.
that there's like, if I don't keep my brain straight on some of this, I'm
Sure.
just not gonna have the mental capacity to link it together. It's like too chaotic, and so maybe that's the difference between it's like chaos and like this like organizational side.
Well, the chaos. The good ideas come from the chaos, right?
100%. So the next step is I get you this.
Yeah.
And what I was saying, just to step back for a second, is I'm not saying we're going to know what the museum is. You're going to just have small, medium, large, big, and then you can say, hey, I'm going to try the museum in the medium one, and you start putting things, you're like, no, I
Yep.
want it bigger.
Exactly. That's
And so
totally.
you just have a blank slate on all of the sizes.
Right.
So then anytime you're like building the next version of it, you start in the size you think it is.
Yeah.
And then you build it. And so then once you get your chaos
Right.
figured out, I'll put it into my organization.
Well, and at some point it's going to have to be very organized, right? Because like, we're going to be like, yes, the main gameplay elements are here of fun and they work together well and we do things. And then it's just like that article that we read about how they did Hollow Knight, which was, once you have it all sort of down, you have your little characters and they have their little animations and your enemies and things like that, and you have the whole thing outlined, just slapping on all of the sort of tiles that you have made into a thing should not be that hard to build all of that stuff. It's like the hard part is getting the fun of jumping on the right things and the sort of stuff back and forth. So like, I love this idea of taking templated size rooms and sort of building out what we think and then playing with it a little bit, right? And that's what I feel like this demo is of these 3 rooms. Will be thus sort of figuring that out. And I feel like if we can play that out and get like a templated version that doesn't look cool at all, probably it's going to look lame, and it's going to be a little black box that you jump onto and probably placeholder text, you know, from some of the guys. But I feel like if you can start getting that and making sure it's the right timing and how long does stuff take and things like that, that's the stuff that makes the game interesting to play, which is fun. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited.
Did this get you to that different level
Totally.
to understand it
well,
now? Okay.
I need to be able, like we need to be testing in environments like that and quickly building what we think.
Well, and I think that maybe I've been playing with it enough to start saying, like, I knew we needed to drop down at this part. Or I was like,
totally.
Where are those cool little jumps in there that made that thing? Like, I've made a decision that you can't have things this tall. Like, this is not a jumpable jump. If you get in here, you can get stuck in geometry. It's too tall or too
So
you should problems.
You should be one tile from the ceiling.
See, 1, 2, 3. It'd have to be 4 down. So if it's
no, but like his head can't be.
See, that's a good question. Let me just show you what the problem is that you said it at the beginning when we started getting, you're just going to fall through the floor, right? The problem is that we're trying to solve for, and I'm going to go to the sprite sheet here.
Does his head hit the top of the frame?
Yes. Well, no, not his head directly. I'm just fix this before I forget to do that later. I don't know if that's right, but whatever. I'll fix it later. If I go to Roby default, so it's not hitting any of this physical part. This is just the anime. So this one takes what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frames or
tiles.
8 tiles. Now, if I click over in this hitbox, this is the hitbox that makes him. So I made it to where it's just above his eyes. So if you even have a bullet that shoots him and it goes right above his eyes, it doesn't hit him.
It's like whoosh. It's like going through his hair.
Through his hair. Now, the problem that you could have with this is if you're on the climbing animation, the hitbox has to be exactly the same. So if I go over here, that's what the hitbox looks like.
Sure. I mean, whatever.
But there's a challenge here. Because when he has the cricket bat and he's swinging it, so
he has like big boots in this one.
Yeah, why is that? I don't know why I did that. That is a good call out. I don't know why that is. Oh, it's because his pants were black on that one, and on your other one they were white. So we just need to be careful on making sure it's the same kind of.
Yeah.
But where was I? Oh, here's it. Cricket bat. Swing. Now here's where I had to build like a bigger thing, because look how many pieces there are.
Yeah, it's covered up on the.
Oh yeah,
make us smaller.
Thank you.
Yep.
So if I go over here to, let's see here.
Yeah, I noticed you took away that frame.
And I probably could add it back in, but it didn't look right when I actually played it. So that goes into like because he almost looked like he was rearing up too much, and then I couldn't get the timing of it to hit.
Okay.
And so it was like I needed to cut a frame so that it would actually hit.
Okay.
And that's that. I don't know. It was just something I ran across. But if you look at this, how many tiles is he using now? And let me stop doing that. I don't know why it's okay. 1. So look at just why is it not actually okay? I think I just put an actual tile down on there. I didn't. I don't know why it's like grabbing it like that. That's weird.
Oh yeah.
It should be like within the amount. Let me just go to a different thing, come back to it. Okay. And that was swing? I don't know why it's doing it that way.
Weird.
Oh, it's because that is literally the tile. I adjusted him to the side. So this is that piece of the tile. That's what I see what I did. So what's happening here is because he's not contained, like that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 tiles.
Yeah.
That takes him that whole scene versus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like double the tile amount.
Yeah, well, because that's gonna happen, right? Like animations, not every animation is like you and your coffin, like area.
Agreed.
Like you gotta
Agreed.
It's got to be bigger and out, right? I almost feel like that's part of. That's just the game and if you said you have to keep it in a 6x6 tile thing for everything and it had to stay within that for every character, then I'd be like, okay, I could live with that because he could still rear his bat up and
so here's where I'm getting at is that this is pushing our limits. Like he almost takes up all of the actor unique tiles because of the size and height. A lot of Game Boy characters fit in a 2x2.
Yeah, they're like at a different scale than we are, though, right?
But it's because of the memory. That is like the reason why that most games like Zeldas and stuff like fit within that, and then they only scope out from there. So like we're at the top limits of doing that, so it limits how many actors. That's why that GB Studio 4 could be great for us. But if I click over in this scene right now, let me take out. Okay, if I take this one guy out, I'm just gonna delete him. You're taking up, and I'd have to go over to the side here. It says 35 of 96 tiles available. So we've already taken up like a third of the amount of actors that can possibly in the screen. So that's your HUD with your hearts. That's any enemies that you want to put in. So if you want the little dude walking around on the screen drinking, like that takes away from our tiles.
Does every tile that Roby could possibly animate into needs to be in his
no, and that's where
up.
that goes from the little thing that we did last time where we're doing the swaps of tiles.
Yeah.
Originally, I thought that's what we were going to do, is that all of the animations would be in one single file.
Yeah.
But it's not that way because we swap. There's this tile set and we swap between these two tile sets. So it's like when we swap to this one, see it says it's 33 unique. And then you go to this one, there's 30 unique. So it wasn't that bad. I was fine with like pulling it up to 6x6 because the maximum amount of tiles that you use in this one is 33. So I guess what I'm saying is when we swing the bat in the game, it does say, oh, yep, you're up to 33 tiles that are unique or more in the game. So if you did this crazy animation and it was like, hey, there's 96 tiles in this whatever you decided to build, and we go in the game, we put it in there, and Roby's walking around, he has his normal 30 tiles that are unique, everything's good, and then the second he would swing, it would crash the game. Because then it would be like, what? We can't handle that many tiles in there.
But you're saying because you're swapping between them, right? But that from last time we talked, that seemed like I was able to do more things.
Hell's yeah,
that.
It is.
So more things with that. So is the limitation the 4 megabytes that you're talking about, or is the limitation just these series? But like, so in that series, say the bat version of this one, say it did work, you were saying, oh, it didn't look good or work good in the game, but say it did, it worked amazing. Are you saying that like him taking up that much of like going up and taking those unique extra tiles, like I only have a certain amount to work with for each one? Or
I would say most of your animations, you're going to want to do like maybe 4 or 5 frames. You want to keep it within like unique tiles of about 33 to 40.
And like this one has a climbing guy. And it has a normal Roby in there. Do those always need to be in there?
This one does. And if
normal Roby does, but not climbing Roby. So that's taking up some of mine from this tile set. And I can have infinite tile sets as long as it stays under 4 megabytes, right?
No, it has nothing to do with the 4 megabytes. That 4 megabytes, this is like kilobytes. This is barely anything. So it doesn't have to do with that kind of memory. What this is saying that each one of these individual tiles gets loaded into the virtual memory of the Game Boy system, and it can only run so many unique tiles at one time in gameplay. The overarching like memory of the game can only have 4 megabytes, at least in the Game Boy versions of it. But what we're saying is the hardware can only run so many tiles uniquely at once.
Yeah. And so I guess I just need to know like what that practically means, because it seems like what you're saying is I can sort of have a bunch of different Roby animations, swinging the bat, climbing a thing.
Oh yeah, we can have as many of those as you want.
Punching, drinking his beer, right? Or whatever. Yep. We can have as many as we want of those. As long as they don't get too wild outside of the 6x6 grid that we're giving each thing a bit.
I would say like this is a great example. If you can make most of your animations of like this many frames, and you do it generally within this scoping, you're going to be great. You can say like, here's the bat swing, or here's the like, I'm punching something, or I'm drinking something, or I'm doing a slide.
Yeah, because those are the things that like will be fun to sit there and animate, right?
Oh yeah.
4 things of him sliding into something, 4 scenes of him getting killed by a spike thing, 4 frames of him getting electrocuted to death,
him getting
4 frames
falling back.
punched and falling back and shaking it off and coming back forward, right?
Yep.
Or something like all of those things. So that's great. Like if what you're telling me is you can do a bunch of those, keep them within a 6x6 thing. They can go outside of it, but just know that costs more little unique tiles. But for the most part, I can just make, as many of those as we needed.
Yeah, because I think this is the biggest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So like I'd say like that's a good like target. If you can fit it in within like 16 tiles, that's probably going to be a really good amount. Like each of the animations you do, if it goes out like this one, think about it. Damn it. I don't know why it keeps bringing all this crap in, but if you go to this one, we're burning 2 tiles for the little corner of that bat, which is fine, whatever. It makes the animation look sweet. So this goes into the more of the chaos
It's only
stuff.
one, right? It's only one tile. It's this one.
No, because you have to pull in 2 at once. So it's pulling this top one and this bottom one.
Why?
Because that's how the game was work. It's a 16-bit kind of thing. Like I don't know why. There's some reason.
It's not a square?
No,
it's not. So it's not
it's
an
2 squares.
Square.
Yeah, it's 2 squares. Like so, when I go here to bring something in, let's actually add that other bat thing. So he has. Which one did I take out? It was this one. I think I took out.
No, I think it's the high one.
This one. Okay. No, it's in there, right? That's this one. He's high, swinging through. Comes in. Oh, is the one that when it's the follow through. That's the one that I took out.
Okay.
So if I highlight him here. You get your guy, and you put him in there. Actually, this should just instantly work. Let's see here. Should be able to play it and then see what it looks like. Now, it may look fine, which it did when you had it before. I think it's the hit is what I was having a problem with. Like, it didn't land.
Well, because it's the hit doesn't change in that thing. This is like the after swing.
Okay, there's something else going on here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really sure what. Oh, it's because of the timing I had to do with some of this. Like, does it even go through? I don't think it does.
Yeah, you can see it.
It's like just a second of it.
Yeah, it's
and I'm not
weird.
sure. That other thing is, I'm not really even sure what it's doing, to be completely honest with you.
Good night, Stealth Mouse.
Have
Thanks
a good
for hanging
night.
out. Oh, yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah, we are done. We're at 2 minutes left.
We have 2 minutes.
All right, I want to Oops. I don't think I was supposed to do that. Okay.
Yeah, like undo.
Oh wait, no, it did work. Okay. I kind of freaked out a second. But I guess I could have got back where we're at. We didn't do a crazy amount.
What was that?
We didn't do a crazy amount. I deleted
yeah.
like
Oh,
a
okay.
huge section that I was like,
man.
I shouldn't have deleted that section.
Okay.
So if I go here, I just want to make sure we can get that back. So you want to delete the frame, not the whole state. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. This is, I think the organizational standpoint of why I like this is that because you do have to organize things pretty crazily. And so that's probably like feeding into some weird thing of Adam wanting to organize the crap out of things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you scale a game up, let's see here, just make sure this does the punch. Okay, we're back. Good. Is that you're getting to see the moments where everything works amazingly.
Yeah.
You're not getting to see the like, how the hell am I going to fix that thing I broke and I don't know what I broke for like 2 days straight and like thinking about it.
It's
And
it's the tech side of it's the curse of being on the tech side.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I wake up in the night and like I have a little sticky note and I'll write a note. I'm like, try this. I solved one of my issues that way. I was like,
nice.
yes, it worked.
A dream
It did.
solve. A GB Studio dream solve. Nice.
Right. I think we should. I want to just try this and maybe we'll do this another time. But
Okay.
you want to try?
Oh yeah, sure.
Just to see if it
we
works.
could flip it over, I feel like we could do this in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Let's see. It should just take 2
GBVM dream.
seconds.
What was this for? Oh, so you should hold it up. What
Let's go over here. Yeah, that's a good point.
this is like you would basically plug this in where the normal Game Boy cartridge would
Yeah,
go.
and
Right?
so
I've never played with one of these or even seen one of these, I don't think.
So it's sweet. Here, let's just see. Let's see if it works.
Oh snap, man, that's really great.
All right, let's see if we can put this on the. The only problem is I have to get it on the stream. Got to put it in here.
Oh, and it's like looking at our arm. Guy made a webcam out of one of those. I can see that.
That's what got me the idea to do this. So if this works, we should be able to see. I know we're gonna have to swap it over to this. Oh yeah. Wait, hold on. How do we get this? I don't know if you can see my face.
Kind of.
What is up? Yeah.
It like doesn't like the as much the light that's there.
Yeah, I can't move this too far because of that's Ryan's hand. Let's see here. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna drop this thing. Hold on a second. Let me grab this. See how much more slack I can get out of it.
Wow.
Oh, there it is.
I feel like that's okay. You can sort of tell what's going on there.
I mean, this is a Game Boy. It was made for the original Game Boy.
Yeah. Well, like there was no game, right? That came with it. It wasn't.
You use the game itself. You take pictures.
It's good to see the high def version down here and our little Game Boy version up there.
Yeah, so you should see I'm waving and you can kind of see my hand in there. You can adjust the contrast.
This would be great. This should be just my webcam.
Well, I was thinking if I set this up right, we could do little elements because if I put it right here,
right,
we could do a show and go to Game Boy Cam in the middle of the show.
Cam.
We're gonna totally do that.
That's like a good it's like a pixel stylized filter.
Well, we could say goodbye in this one. Yeah, the nutty guy made an OBS plugin. It makes it look like a Game Boy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because he went and
Oh, that's cool.
That's what reminded me of doing this. I was like, we could make it actually work with the game. He made it look pixely and everything. Thanks for showing it. Oh yeah, nice. You could almost see the
right. Oh yeah.
Because I was thinking, if we wanted to do animations with this, couldn't we use this to take pictures of a swing or a slide, and then it has a pixelated look.
Well, you could do this to we would just shoot our own cutscenes for the Game Boy game with the Game Boy. We'll do an FMV Game Boy game.
Here, let me see. He says, what do I do if you mess with the contrast? I don't know. Well, you can kind of see. Like, what it does is it makes it a lot easier to see in certain cases.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. No color, though.
There's not in this version.
Yeah. What can you like stitch movies? Can you stitch scenes together? It's not like a video editor, right? Does it save the video?
It doesn't have video. It has just here. I'll show you. Okay, I'm gonna since this is a thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you one thing. All right. Let me see if I can get this. It has sound apparently too.
Yeah.
So
like, what's play?
That's what I was gonna show you. Let's see here. Yeah, I need to get oh, not this. What the hell?
Yeah, like, what does this have to do with the?
That's not the right. Space Fever. I feel like this is not what I wanted it to do.
Ooh. That's a weird thing to have in there.
I don't want to. I accidentally almost deleted things before. That's me.
Man.
Like when I actually got this as an actual thing.
Love that.
Years ago. But that's not what I wanted to show you. There was like a. Let me see here. Shoot.
Magic?
Oh, wait.
What?
Oh, here's the one. This is what I want to show you. Check this out. See?
Oh, it was trying.
So that's why I took a bunch of pictures. They're like, take a picture with like your mouth open.
Yo, I see.
And then you're like, okay. And then it like animates you into games.
That looks terrible. They
This is amazing. Like back in the day, you're like, I'm in the game.
But like it cropped it way too close in.
Because I was a terrible picture taker.
Okay.
I didn't do it right.
That's it. You didn't set it up correctly.
But
is this a game?
Yeah.
Are you like moving?
I'm playing.
What do you do?
Playing.
You're moving?
I'm just trying to catch the things.
Oh, okay, like
and then
smack
you're
them back up into the air.
So as long as you hit, you touch
There's
it.
like Adam making kissy faces and mo faces.
Yeah, because they're like, do this, do this.
That's fun. Didn't they tried that with Mii's? Like, you know, where you can have your
This is classic.
crush. I bet these games are awful. See, that was one he took of himself.
See, like, I don't know what some of these things
Trick
do.
lenses?
Oh, they must just do. Oh, these are just different. So basically, you stitch it. You take some different things. Like Game Face is literally just a juggling game. That's all you do.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing you get out of it. And then these are ways that you can create different versions of it. So, anyways, I think it's like just fun to see old tech and how that all works together. So. Hey, I had a hell of a fun tonight. I think we got some next steps on the game. Thanks for everyone for hanging out with us and chatting along. I need to get the printer. Mike Azul, it's at Games Ahoy. I think I'm going to buy it now. So I don't know if it's a thermal printer or if it actually has ink, but
no, I bet it's a thermal printer.
Because then you put that in there and you should be able to print from it. So they have one. I may have to have you pick one up for me, or you can get one for yourself. Whatever works, man. So thank you so much. We will talk to you next time.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Hopefully we'll have some more with the game. Well, until then, peace out.
Bye.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bonus footage. Mike Azul got this for me. We've been wanting to show this off. We'll show it off a little bit later. So hopefully at some point he'll be able to.
How about you?